for the corner. I still beat the floor for your inner. Put down for chest and swear, say you know they feeling for chest. I bet when the DJ knock up for deck, I know say you don't they carry you go where you know no. For like when I'm go low, carry you go where you know no. Shalewa when I'm go low.
They make you carry me go where I don't know. When you make me lose control, you shawty walk back control. Shawty walk back control.
For like feed the Shalewa, for like feed the Shalewa, for like feed the Shalewa, for like feed the One time I be stepping up, I go move my body till I feel I've had enough. Make nobody come and try to interrupt. I dey feel all the moves is not good stuff. Another time I be feeling fly. See I saw the fine boys on the look my side. Me no care about the force where they wanna fly. I go just stay dingy, post to be pride. I wanna dance till I can feel my feet. Dance till I know feet, yeah beat. Dance until you contact it. Dance until you know beat. So put down for chest and swear. Say you know they feeling for chest. I bet when the DJ knock up for deck, I know say you don't they carry you go where you know no. For like when I'm go low, carry you go where you know no. Shalewa when I'm go low, Shalewa. For like feed the 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 I just wanna feel it, the vibration. Me no got no worries. Now your vibe where it is easy.
No.
Me no got no worries. Now your vibe where it is easy.
Wallah, ولي بي يا رسول الله. وفوفوتني باب وليلة يدي وفوفوتني باب واسل الشوق يا بابا تخدم وفوفوتني باب وما ما تشعل وليلة يدي وفوفوتني باب يا دارت بلا ودارت ودم وفوفوتني باب وابولا يا مولاي يا شباب وفوفوتني باب وابولاي لا شوف وزيلا مسبب وفوفوتني باب وكلها وحالو حدا يجيب حالو يا باب وفوفوتني باب وفوفوتني باب وابولا يا مولاي لا شباب وفوفوتني باب وابولاي لا شب يا سلام اسباب وفوفوتني باب واشعل الاخرتين يا بالليل الى وفوفوتني باب يا فوفوتني باب هادي الديار اشعل الشمعة ما تكدا ما تشعل وليلا ليلا وليلا الديار دارت مانا فوق الدماغ وما تكدا وليلا الديار حرام مرة هادي الديار يا مدوم ربي فوق الدماغ وليلا ليلا
Therapy.
All right, welcome to another episode of Hostile Therapy on Thursday with Big Red, and returning with us this week is Tim and LT, Lord Trent.
Yeah.
What up? What up? What up? What up?
What's going on, guys?
Can't call it.
Can't
Free
call it.
motherfucking Palestine, god damn it. Y'all thought I was off of it. I'm still on it. Happy New Year, actually. It's the actual New Year now.
Oh, okay. I might say I was a little bit lost on that one. Okay. Yeah, happy New Year to you too. Hope you don't get too drunk on the show as we celebrate the new year.
Oh well, I've beat you there. One, so I win. St. Patrick's Day already passed, so there's a lot of Irish people that are still drunk from that. But yeah, this is the actual New Year as spring has sprung, so the earth has come back to life from the deadness of winter. So it is now it's actually the New Year of 2024 because the earth is alive again.
Don't tell that to North Carolina. Spring is sprung, because I can't really tell from day to day. It's gonna be cold tomorrow, and then it's gonna be warm again the next day.
I'm trying to fight through this dang pollen. Shoot.
Yeah, there's no point even
Pollen's out
watching the car at this point. It does no good.
Man, shoot.
You ain't even got to call the police to leave any fingerprints for no evidence. All you got to do.
Look at. Hey man, hey, I gotta say, Big Red, yo, them edits, man, yo, it's nice, bro.
What's that?
The pre-launch.
Oh yeah. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt.
I saw you beating the bongos in the background.
Hey, I did Wakanda Forever everything.
I said he feeling that over there. All right.
Yeah. I ain't know you could see that.
Oh yeah. I didn't mean to.
Shoot, I was just waiting. I was, like in the elevator waiting for the next stop.
Oh yeah, I did that on purpose, yo. So you gotta have something to jam your head to right before the show.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So make sure our people on Instagram are live, and make sure to cut them on.
Word.
All right, they should be coming on in just a second. Let me hit the live button on now.
Word. I'm getting my coffee brewed. After that, I'll flip this little camera on.
All right. So we're on. All right, we're on Instagram now. All right, so we got a couple more, I think, gonna come in.
Fuck Mark Zuckerberg.
Hey yo.
Yeah, right.
We can't say that because we on Mark Zuckerberg's probably channel right now.
Hey, Nickelodeon some hot water.
We can say that about Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon some hot water, bro.
Yeah, fuck Dan Schneider. Fuck. Honestly, it's funny. It's funny that we're Drake Bell is getting a pass now for being a sexual victim, and they barely talked about him being a sexual assaulter himself
as a sexual
player. Yeah, like didn't he did something too?
Yeah,
back in 2021. This is how he getting his clout back.
Yeah, he got in trouble.
Okay.
And sending pictures to an underage girl.
That's what that was. Okay.
Yeah.
Dick pics.
Dang.
Yeah, and then I haven't seen the documentary yet. I'm planning on to see it maybe the next day or two. I'm not sure where it's on, but I'll find it and watch it eventually. But yeah, Nickelodeon. It's not no surprise.
Of course not.
I would say with Disney, anybody who works with child stars,
Disney got too much money,
and the parents aren't around. Probably, I guess any industry. We can go take it back to R. Kelly. We can go to Nickelodeon, Disney. Anytime your kids are around other adults without your adult supervision, it's not a good thing. Why do you think black parents don't even want their kids spend the night at other people's houses?
Right.
And you letting them go work a whole day with some other people unsupervised. People probably ain't even got no kids.
Hey, you remember that show, Just Jordan? That kid that was in Common View?
I saw about that.
Yeah. And he was like, that's why they canceled the show, because he won't,
Go up the little booty.
Yeah, wasn't he like He was like 12 or something, right? When he did his comedy show or something, they're like 12.
Yeah.
Something like that.
He was on there with Lil Duval, dumbass.
I used to get them mixed up with who won that competition. So, the competition they won when they were very young.
Right.
It was him. It was Lil Duval. I want to say there was a female comedian on there. I can't remember.
Oh, shoot, Lil Duval was on there. Dang.
Yeah, and you see, he said, Lil Duval, how old is Lil Duval?
He said some weird pedophile shit not too long, or actually a while ago. But he said some shit.
Oh, Lil Duval?
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
Yeah, he said something about his daughter on Twitter one time, back when it was Twitter, like 17 years ago.
I feel like I know what you're talking about. It's something from last year I thought I remember seeing him say. Feel like I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember exactly what it was.
They all weird.
I say, man, I tell you, man, it's like, it's almost getting to a point people need etiquette classes to learn how to use the internet, man. Because it's getting crazy.
Because they're using that as their outlet of their day-to-day life. I'm like, dang, man, just keep that to yourself. Keep some of that private.
Yeah. Everything don't need to be out and about, man.
Well, we in this age of me, and when you got people selling themselves on OnlyFans, where you would think that would be between you and your significant other.
Yeah.
Everybody working on me in front of everybody else.
You know what it is too?
What's that?
Was that that word monetize got presented? Yeah. You can get monetized but doing whatever on the internet. Shoot.
All right. Well, let's speak on what we're going to talk about at the head of the show.
There you go, LT.
Joy Taylor. I don't know if y'all familiar with her. Used to be on First Things First. Used to be on Undisputed. She's on another show now on Fox Sports. So she's an analyst of sports. Her brother used to play for the Dolphins football team, Miami Dolphins. Right. But she's carved out a name for her own, and now she has a podcast where she was talking about this interesting topic here, where she's asking the question. Well, not asking the question. She's stating that she doesn't want to date a man who does not have female friends. If you do not have,
I've seen that.
Yeah, I'll show the clip for it in a minute. But she said, if you do not have female friends, then that is a red flag. She's not dating a guy that does not have female friends and does not ask, I guess, advice from other females besides herself. And we may find a clip for that, and we're going to give our commentary on what we have to say about this subject. I was hoping we have the other ladies up here right quick to give some pushback or agreement with this, but let me play it.
So they did what? I'm sorry. They was somebody brother was on the Dolphins, a trash NFL team, by the way. But and they were Undisputed on ESPN.
No. She's on Undisputed. She used to be on Undisputed as an analyst. First Things First on Fox Sports. She's on another show now, but she has her own podcast. Fox Sports, yeah. She has her own podcast now where she's talking about, is it it's a red flag for a man or boyfriend, husband, not have female friends. Mm. She'll go into detail in just a second. Let me pop that up.
Step further. I don't want to date a man that doesn't have any female friendships.
Bingo.
I don't want to date a man who only gets input from other men and who has all women in two categories: your mother or your aunties, or someone I want to sleep with. But let's start with what's on your mind.
Oh, girl, deep breath. I am over the conversations about $500.
I'll skip a little bit further on that. We'll get to what.
Then I'm not even bringing up money. Yes, money.
But it is all about this give.
Cooks for me all the time. He's a chef. Okay. I have a female friend about how she was interested in
And it's why for every single person, we have to make love and relationships and the discourse around love, relationships, and dating about individuals. So that is what is on my mind. What is on your mind, my sweet Joy?
It's sort of in the same vein. I'm tired of talking about male friendships. I saw this video resurface again of this woman talking about how she was interested in this man until she found out that he made an elaborate dinner for his female friend. And that is something that she just does not want in her life. And to be clear, I respect anyone's boundaries for relationships. Like, what works for you is likely not what works for me. And if you have a hard line that he will not have any female friends and I will not have any male friends, and that's what works for you, love that for you. But this sweeping statement of like, it is so outrageous that he would cook for his female friend, make an elaborate dinner for his female friend. I want to tell everyone this. I have amazing male friendships. One of my oldest friends in life is a man. We've known each other since we were literally children. He's not going anywhere. One of my best friends is a man. He is a chef. He cooks for me all the time. He's a chef. Okay. I like food. He's a chef. It's how he expresses affection to everyone. He cooks for everyone. He doesn't just cook for me. He cooks for the women he's interested in. He cooks for his male friends. He has big barbecues. He's a wonderful cook and he likes to cook for people. And I like to eat food and I like to spend time with my friend. I pour him Hennessy. He cooks the food. We have a great, a night catching up, and then he goes to do whatever he's going to do, and so do I. And nothing in my life will ever change that. No man I'm ever dating will ever take any friendship out of my life that is not up to me. But I want you guys to know that this is not the standard for what is a healthy relationship. It might work for you, but that doesn't mean it works for everyone. And I'll take it a step further. I don't want to date a man that doesn't have any female friendships.
Bingo!
I don't want to date a man who only gets input from other men and who has all women in two categories: your mother or your aunties or someone I want to sleep with. You have to have a broader spectrum on women and their value in your life if you're going to be with me.
Totally. Well, first off, only getting information and opinions from other men sounds terrifying.
Terrifying.
So I encourage that to not be what anybody does ever, but you're totally right, because the more we keep talking about, can you have friends of the opposite sex, the more I start feeling like everybody is like primal animals in a zoo. You literally cannot physically be around someone of the opposite sex without just like your clothes coming off. Like I don't, and I would never have any relationship that I'm ever in. Like, I'm not going to tell my partner, you can't be around women, because if I feel like I have to tell you that, what does that say about what I think you're like when I'm not with you? That I can't trust you to be around women, that like platonically. I would say that says more about my choices and who I'm with. Because I'm never going to feel like I have to control you or I have to monitor the friendships that you are in. Like, has anybody actually ever said to you, if you don't stop this male friendship that you're in, I'm not going to be with you? Has that happened?
Yeah. And in my less mature, less healed phases in life, I would oblige that. And credit to my male friends for, loving me through these different journeys, because when that relationship inevitably ends because it's not a healthy relationship, they're like, yeah, girl, we knew like he wasn't going to last. And we just respected your space and what you were asking from us, which they didn't have to do. They could have been like, nah, you're shady and you don't actually value our friendship. And they knew I was in a bad space, and that's why I allowed that to happen. But there's no way that I would be with someone who, one, thinks so little of me that I would have a male friend in my life that I'm cheating on them with. Like, first of all, I can do whatever I want. Okay. Literally. Stop disrespecting me. If I want to fuck this person, I'm going to do that. And there's nothing you can do to stop me, and vice versa. Like, there's nothing you can do to stop someone from doing that to you. So
All right, sorry. All right, we're going to stop it there, and we're going to give our initial statements on what Joy Taylor and friend had to say. I'm not sure what her name is, but we're going to talk about, do you agree with what she had to say? Do you think it's a red flag for a guy not to have female friends once he's in a relationship, a committed relationship, we'll say that. And LT, you might like this new thing that's going to pop up, because I'm going to let you go first.
Oh, word.
Yeah. Take a look at the screen when you're about to see
When
what's...
you say I'm gonna like some shit, anytime you say somebody gonna like some shit, it's always some shit they're not gonna like. If I swear to God, if it's like Palmer face
I think you will this time. Like, it might throw you off a little bit when you see what's about to pop on the screen, but it's the timer. It's a new timer.
That's what I'm about to see, because you like to play too much.
No. Promise you. I promise you, the first second or first 3 seconds you're gonna like it. I'm gonna let you go first. All right, first tell me, do you agree with what Joy Taylor had to say?
I agree to a certain degree.
Okay. Give us your reason why. Here we go. Watch the clock.
Ready? Go!
I do. I thoroughly enjoy seeing white people get slapped.
I knew you were gonna say that.
You got me with that. All right. I agree. Yes, I think that anyone, male or female, should be able to conduct a platonic relationship with the opposite sex. And you should definitely be able to see, as men, we should be able to see women as more than our caregivers, or more than people that we are to give care to. There should be a definite, you should just have females that are your friends. You should just have women that, oh, I admire her because of her business acumen. I admire her because she's really smart and she helped me with with some tutoring. Like, she tutored me one time. Like, so you should have women in your life that you should admire for that. And vice versa for women. You should have men in your life that you don't just use for money, or that you use for these things or the, relationship things that you can't get from a male friend, without letting him believe that, there's a possibility of which. The reason I said I agree to a certain degree is because, as she's saying, she thinks it's a red flag for men to only get advice from each other. She's literally sitting on a show, we're doing the same thing. She's sitting on a show with her homegirl talking about what men should and shouldn't be doing, and neither one of them are men. So it's kind of like, again, it just said the show is aptly named Too Personal, and it just sounds like they're giving their personal opinion on what they feel like. Because she kind of sounds like the homegirl that isn't in a relationship, so she hangs out with her male friends regardless if they're in relationships or not, and it still expects her male friends to be the same kind of friend that they were to her before they were in a relationship. And she doesn't like when, like, the reason I don't inherently agree, because I don't know what is the exact reason that she's saying. It's because, if you know what the perfect man is, why don't you have him? We always throw out the red flag. How come nobody has a green flag? Nobody is with a green flag person.
All right. Tim, first tell me, do you agree with what Joy Taylor had to say? Is it a red flag for men in a committed relationship to have female friends?
I'm gonna say nah. I don't agree.
Okay, tell us why.
Are you ready? Go!
Well, I look at it like this. At the end of the day, first of all, this whole red flag thing, it's being used too loosely. You know what I'm saying? If you want to keep it a stack, everybody is a red flag, because there's somebody out there think that there's something wrong with you. So I'm gonna say that with that. I say I don't agree with her, because at the end of the day, I don't know everybody upbringing. And, you gotta take consideration of all of that. Somebody upbringing, you know what I'm saying, how their mentality is like, you know what I'm saying, from their upbringing. Or it's just, maybe it's just their way of just, I don't know, just being respectful to I guess their significant other or whatnot. Maybe, there's people, they just feel like, guys just feel like, all I need is you know what I'm saying, my family, female family members, my cousins, my aunt, my mom, my sisters. And I truly believe there's a thing where you can be respectful and have associates, but like friends, a lot of people take that friendship word very seriously in their own way. So me personally, I wouldn't say it's a red flag. Now, do I believe is there anything wrong with having, opposite sex, saying friends? Of course not. Um, I believe, we are, of course we are all humans, and it's important to just interact. Same, saying that, same sex and the opposite sex in a way, like, just understanding the mind of, saying both sex. But nah, I wouldn't say it's a red flag. So if I'm gonna say one more thing because it's 2024. Pause, because they the way these days you can't just say hot dog Lizzie, you gotta say pause. These kids, they will roast you, so pause on.
They'll roast you for saying pause, and then they'll cancel you for saying pause. So
Yeah,
it's like we're in that time
yeah,
frame.
because when I say that same sex, they're like, yo, pause for whatever reason.
So pretty
and
much
then
either way, you're stuck in between either way. Pause.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me shoot this out to both of you guys then.
Okay.
It sounds like LT sounds like you kind of agree you should be able to have female friends in certain contexts. Tim, sounds like you kind of disagree with that. Let me throw this out here then. Okay, I pretty much I don't think you can have female friends like that. I don't, and the reason why I say that is when I think of the word friends and I try to put it on equal plane as how I have male friends. Can you have a female over your house and just hang out and just watch movies till 3 a.m. without making the other jealous? Should you be able to have? Is she able to just because?
No, because and here's how it just a quick because on the other foot, no, your male friends cannot hang out over at our house till whatever fucking o'clock at night, just sitting on our couch watching TV and shit.
I mean, man, you can. I mean, shoot, that depends, I guess, what kind of rules you have in the house.
I'm saying for my woman in a relationship, a male, I would not be cool with her male friend kicking it in the same capacity that I might be cool with her female friend kicking it.
Yeah.
Just like I understand for a woman, a female kicking it till 2-3 o'clock in the morning is not the same as one of your homeboys sitting out in the fucking living room playing 2K with you.
Right.
Unless she's playing 2K with you, which still, like, like she has a vagina. Either way, like the only thing that is missing from the perfect girlfriend is them loving to play 2K and Madden with their boyfriend.
I'm glad you said that. I was about to ask, do y'all believe temptation is like that daggone strong?
Yeah, for some people. Some people are very weak-willed. Some people are just, of low sexual discipline.
I don't, and I'm not sure what friends you talking about. Friends you grew up with, or friends you just met along the way at a job, at a networking convention, and you just have some of the same things in common. But there's a reason why, even if you got friends around, whatever, you don't leave money sitting around. If you had a party with your friends, you don't leave $100 bills just sitting around like, hey, don't touch it. I have friends I grew up with, and I still leave money sitting around.
To quote a great fictional character, make your friends rich, make your enemies rich, then sit and wait and see which is which. Tony Stark.
Yeah, let's go. But there's laws in place.
But he was quoting Tony Stark.
There are laws in place to stop anybody from committing a crime, but it ain't gonna stop them. There's plenty of gun laws put in place. It's not gonna stop people from buying guns.
Got a gun right now.
And there's boundaries. Even boundaries you still should have in place in a relationship. The laws are to set a boundary.
Yeah,
and there's gotta be a boundary where, hey, I can't have you staying the night playing video games at 3 a.m. You and Tina, because temptation can happen. Girls go on girls trips all the time. Are you okay? I wish I could ask her this. Are you really okay if you, well, no, not you, your man and his female friend took a cruise by themselves? The same way you'd be okay if girls take girls trip. And she says, yes, she's lying.
And then be for real though, them girls trip. That's a whole nother conversation. But anyway,
that's a whole terrible film.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
So she lying on that. I can understand if you're talking about female friends and you're going to a party setting or something. You're like, hey, what's up? I ain't seen you in a long time. Y'all talking and stuff like that. But if it's really a friendship type thing, like you and me can go hang out at Waffle House, or we can go watch a football game, or even go to a football game.
Right.
I think that's a whole different story. I think she's capping when she's talking about that.
Yeah, the story she told honestly didn't have shit to do with it, because when you have a male friend or a female friend, or when you cook for one of your friends, it's not to the same degree when you're an actual professional chef and this is what you're like, when literally the way in which they have to hang out with you is you cooking, because that's literally what you do. You know what I'm saying? That's like feeling like you're a musician or you get to be a musician because your friend is a musician. So she told a story about, you should be able to cook and do these kind of things for your male friends or your female friends, regardless. If like, no, because once you get into a committed relationship with someone, it's not like it literally, they should not have to tell you that, hey, I am not comfortable, or you shouldn't have a problem with them telling you that I am not comfortable with the amount of affection that you show towards your friend of the opposite sex. I'm not comfortable with the amount of affection that they show towards you, because at a certain point, like, you really have to ask yourself, is your friendship more important to you, or is your relationship more important to you? I noticed that only people on the friend spectrum, the single people that are just the friends, always feel like, well, I've had friends in my life longer than I've had a relationship. That's because you don't have to work on yourself with your friends.
All right.
You don't have to be better for your friends. You don't, like, your friends take care of you. You take care of your friends. Y'all both see the fucked up nature of each other, but because you still have a layer of yourself that you hide from your friends, your romantic layer, they don't see what you are like in a relationship. The sibling layer, the family layer, they don't see what you're actually like with your family, even though, some y'all feel like you are family. Like, I have friends that feel like we are brother and sisters, not knowing I have actual brother and sister. Like, I have actual blood related brother and sister. Like, it's my brother's birthday today. Happy birthday, Adeyin May.
Happy birthday to him.
Goddamn right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we really sometimes as friends, we overestimate and overvalue our place in other people's lives, because the way that they're moving just doesn't suit our purpose. Like, this lady strikes me as, like I said, the homegirl that your girlfriend says she's cool and all, but do you have to cook for her every time she come over? Like, can't we, like, why don't she cook for you? Like, why don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, she gets boyfriend, husband, significant other treatment from you. You give her, or you give this dude girlfriend, wife treatment, and y'all are just supposed to be friends. That's not a healthy way to conduct an adult committed relationship, because a lot of us aren't really into being in relationships. We're just the friends. We kind of project in these negative ass ways to where it's like, because it's like you feel like this is a red flag with men. Why is this not a red flag to you, like, as women? Why is this not a talking point for you to feel like as women? Like, do you not like women that don't allow their men to have female friends? Or you're just going to be mad at men for only keeping females in two capacities: the women that take care of me and the women that I sexually gratify.
And I'm not even sure why that's such a bad thing. Why can't I have, get advice from moms and aunts and sisters and stuff like that, and just keep it there? Again, women, this is the difference between men and women. Women can go into each other's bedrooms and just watch TV and talk, laugh, giggle, and all this type of stuff. Can I go do the same thing with my female friend? And you be okay? Can I just talk, giggle at her house while you're at home watching TV and doing whatever you're doing. You're telling me you're not going to get mad that I am hanging with my female friend, watching Living Single on the bed with her. Oh, you should be able to, but yeah, you don't leave that piece of meat out, pun intended or not intended, however you look at it. You don't leave that piece of meat out for somebody to devour it. So there's got to be boundaries somewhere. In other words, if there's no boundaries between what you and his female friends do, then what's the point of him having you as a wife? Because the only thing really is going to separate you two is sex.
What was that? Get Rich or Die Trying, 50 Cent. He had a best friend too. And you see,
yeah, you see how that is. I don't see what Joy Taylor is trying to say. What is the separation between what she's going to provide her man and what her friend's going to provide besides sex? And if you keep leaving him over the house at 3 or 4 in the morning, whatever, and he can come back whenever he wants to, it's just going to be the same.
Honestly, do you want your man going to another woman when y'all have an argument to get advice from her? Because is this a woman you can trust as his friend? Do you know this woman's intentions with your, like, again, if she's been in his life longer as a friend, you're literally, so you don't trust the man that doesn't have platonic female relationships. But when he starts to show that he trusts these friendships over your own relationship, how are you going to feel then? Because like it would literally be a fucking popularity battle of how long. Like you would literally just have to buy your time so that you could say, well, I've been in your life 10 years, but she's been in my life 15. Damn, shit.
Right.
That's John crazy.
See what happens with a lot of those relationships that they have multiple wives and they have to share time with them and they get jealous of each other. See, they're in a committed relationship and they understand the reason why they got married is because the husband dedicated his time to all 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 his wives, and they still get jealous. You tell me you're not going to get jealous if he shares his time or even takes majority of his time with his female best friend over you. No.
Or allows her to infringe upon y'all time together. Because again, like I look at the intention. What is the reason that she is saying that she does not trust a man that does not have female friends?
You know,
go ahead.
Honestly, man, I all respect to, you know what I'm saying, these women on this podcast. All respect before I say this. I feel a lot of times they be saying stuff like this, but then really don't be meaning it. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
it's the way that they feel at the moment.
When the pressure is on, like Mike Tyson used to say, hey, everybody got a game plan until you get punched in the mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It honestly sounds like they didn't have a set list of topics before they started recording, before they press record on the show. They just said they're going to talk about what's on your mind. Like this literally seemed like a topic that was just personal to her in particular. Because it didn't seem like it, especially as you were fast forwarding through it, trying to get to the part that that you wanted to see. It seemed like they were. I mean, if you fast forward through our shit, it looks like we all over the place. But what's up, Spark?
So Sparky T, what's up?
Hey, what's going on with you?
What's going on?
I don't know if you got to catch what we're talking about so far.
Have no idea. I just tuned in.
I forgot the lady name.
Joy Taylor. I don't know if you. I'll play it again real quick if you
okay.
Give a little catch up. This is Joy Taylor. I don't know you see her on Fox Sports. She's a sports analyst, and she has her podcast where she's talking about it's a red flag if men don't have female friends while you're in a committed relationship. And I'll play a little clip right quick so you can get a little taste of what she's talking about.
Okay. The fundamental trust.
You can rewind it. Dang it. Gotta go back so I can make this bigger. Just a sec. Okay, put it here.
time. He's a chef. I want to tell everyone this. I have amazing male friendships. One of my oldest friends in life is a man. We've known each other since we were literally children. He's not going anywhere. One of my best friends is a man. He is a chef. He cooks for me all the time. He's a chef. Okay. I like food. He's a chef. It's how he expresses affection to everyone. He cooks for everyone. He doesn't just cook for me. He cooks for the women he's interested in. He cooks for his male friends. He has big barbecues. He's a wonderful cook and he likes to cook for people. And I like to eat food and I like to spend time with my friend. I pour him Hennessy. He cooks the food. We have a great, a night catching up, and then he goes to do whatever he's going to do, and so do I. And nothing in my life will ever change that. No man I'm ever dating will ever take any friendship out of my life that is not up to me. But I want you guys to know that this is not the standard for what is a healthy relationship. It might work for you, but that doesn't mean it works for everyone. And I'll take it a step further. I don't want to date a man that doesn't have any female friendships.
Bingo.
I don't want to date a man who only gets input from other men and who has all women in two categories, your mother or your aunties or someone I want to sleep with. You have to have a broader spectrum on women and their value in your life if you're going to be with me.
Totally. Well, first off, only getting information and opinions from other men sounds terrifying.
Terrifying.
So I encourage that you not be what anybody does ever, but you're totally right, because the more we keep talking about, can you have friends of the opposite sex, the more I start feeling like everybody is like primal animals in a zoo. You literally cannot physically be around someone of the opposite sex without just like your clothes coming off. Like I don't do it. I don't, and I would never have any relationship that I'm ever in. Like, I'm not going to tell my partner, you can't be around women, because if I feel like I have to tell you that, what does that say about what I think you're like when I'm not with you? That I can't trust you to be around women, that like platonically. I would say that says more about my choices and who I'm with. Because I'm never going to feel like I have to control you or I have to monitor the friendships that you are in. Like, has anybody actually ever said to you, if you don't stop this male friendship that you're in, I'm not going to be with you? Has that happened?
Yeah. And in my less mature, less healed phases in life, I would oblige that. And credit to my male friends for, loving me through these different journeys, because when that relationship inevitably ends because it's not a healthy relationship, they're like, yeah, girl, we knew like he wasn't going to last. And we just respected your space and what you were asking from us, which they didn't have to do. They could have been like, nah, you're shady and you don't actually value our friendship. And they knew I was in a bad space, and that's why I allowed that to happen. But there's no way that I would be with someone who, one, thinks so little of me that I would have a male friend in my life that I'm cheating on them with. Like, first of all, I can do whatever I want. Okay. Literally. Stop disrespecting me. If I want to fuck this person, I'm going to do that. And there's nothing you can do to stop me, and vice versa. Like, there's nothing you can do to stop someone from doing that to you. So the fundamental trust in a relationship has to exist. And again, if you girls are out there and you're like, you sound crazy, I don't want any women around my man, and I don't want any men around me, by all means, I love this for you. Have at it. Just stop talking about the rest of us. Like, we don't know what's going on. We have.
All right, I'm gonna stop it on that part there. Oops, put it back where I had it before. All right, I'll let you. Let's spark it. I'll let you make an initial statement on here and see what you have to say. We got a new time clock. LT's already been privy to it. He loved it. I'm gonna give you first. Let me hear. Do you agree with what Joy Taylor has to say? You think it's
I agree with her.
Okay.
I agree with her. I think it's a red flag.
Okay, just tell us why. Here we go. Oh, put it up here.
You ready? Go!
Because one, y'all know, y'all don't know, but most of my friends, I probably had more male friends than I had female friends. So it would, like, if somebody didn't have some type of balance where they had some female friends too, it would never work. I would be like, why, why are you not friends with any females, or why couldn't you be friends with a female without feeling like you had to sleep with her or be in a relationship with her? And I think it's crazy to think that men and women can't have platonic relationships, or be friends with each other, and not be in that space. So I think that's ridiculous. And like she was saying, for somebody to only think of somebody as their mom or their aunt or a woman that I want to sleep with, there's got to be something in between. And if you don't have anything in between, it's like, well, and if you do have things in between, but you're not allowed to be friends with them, because either you or your partner are so insecure, that's a jacked up situation. So, now I think that she's right. I think that people should be allowed to have, male and female friends and still be able to be in a healthy relationship. For some people, that's a red flag. If people do have, male or female friends, that's the red flag for some people. But it's an uphill battle because, like I said, I have more male friends than female, and historically, it's been a problem. Throughout the years, it's been a problem. But it kind of is what it is. I understand what she's saying.
Is it on that?
Yep, that's it on that.
Okay, all right, that's it on that. Okay, well, here's why I disagree with her, and the reason why I say that is I think there has to be some boundary somewhere, or less the lines of being a friend and a girlfriend can be blurred. And for example, why I say that is I can go hang out with my male friends, and we can hang out bars, whatever. We can play Madden to 3, 4 in the morning, stuff like that. And on the other side, women, not all women, but women hang out and go on cruises. They can go to their own bedrooms and watch Golden Girls. Not saying you do. They can watch TV shows on the bed and stuff like that, like they're friends. I don't think I could ever, not say never, but I don't think that most women or men would be comfortable if a guy was placed in that situation. I don't think girls have girls trips. I don't think it would be comfortable for my girlfriend to have me go on a cruise with a female friend for 7 days and just hanging out and just say, oh, well, we're just friends. But you can do that with other females. I don't think she'd be comfortable with me going over to a female's house until 5 in the morning, and I'm talking about my problems with her, where I should be really talking to her about the problem. I think somewhere along the line between wife or girlfriend and female friend can be blurred, and it can cause issues. Even with the female friend, she can be like, well, shoot, he really likes me, and we have a lot in common. At some point, that can turn into something else more than just being friends. Not saying it can't happen, but it puts you in a dangerous place to where other things can change around and turn to more than female friends. The lines can
I
be blurred.
believe that I got enough self-control though.
Yeah.
As far as blur, I know me personally, I have enough self-control that just because I'm friends with somebody, don't care what time in the morning I'm talking to or whatever, it's no line blurring. It is what it is. We're friends, and when you're not friends, you're not friends. For me, I mean, I get it, I understand, but I also am not saying that I'm going on trips with my male friends. Either when we talk about whether you can be friends with somebody,
Yeah.
we didn't say whether you could be friends with somebody or whether you necessarily taking trips with them. I mean, I'm also friends with females that I don't take trips with either, though, for that matter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just because somebody's my friend don't mean I have to take a trip with them. So I'm not saying I'm necessarily traveling with my male friends. I guess hadn't really thought about that part of it, but they're not the people that I would pick to travel with. But I mean, I hear what you're saying on that part, but I guess to me, anything could blur the lines. If you don't, what I'm saying, if you don't have enough trust, or you don't have enough self control, then you know, speaking to somebody could inevitably blur the lines. You know what I'm saying? Because you're speaking to
You're right.
somebody, and she could think you were flirting and this and that. So I don't. For me, I know that I have enough self-control, and I would think I would hope that the person that I am talking to or entrusting myself in a relationship would too. If they don't have that type of self-control, shit, we got a bigger issue. The issue is not just women at that point, it's going to be like, what is, what is it that you can't control yourself with? Is it women? Is it drugs? Is it, your spending? Is it eating? Is it alcohol? Is it, because now we might have an addiction issue or, a control issue, and shit, that's going to be that issue no matter what situation you get into,
And,
so
and I'm
I don't
not
know.
just talking about sex too. I'm just talking about it blurring the lines between what's the difference between you being my wife or girlfriend and my female best friend. Those lines is why I'm kind of saying can be blurred easy. If I'm just going to her about most of my issues, the only thing that really separates the two, in some cases, can only be sex with the girlfriend or wife. And that's why I mean, where lines can be blurred and jealousy can happen, because the girl can, your wife or girlfriend could be like, well, damn, he don't ever talk to me. He always talk about our problems with her before he even comes to me. And I think that's why I mean lines can be blurred. I think you can be friends with females, but there has to be some boundary somewhere. Hanging out 3 or 4 in the morning, at some point, that stuff got to end. I feel anyway. You can't hang out by yourselves between each other like that. At some point, you got to come home to me at a reasonable time. Or like I said, going on cruises or, excursions or whatever like that without me, you going with your female friend, to me, that blurs a line that can cross over to somewhere else. Not saying it will, but it can make some women feel a certain way and make some men feel a certain way. Oh,
my bad.
No, go ahead, Tim.
No, I was just saying that type of behavior is supposed to be, quote unquote, significant others. You know what I'm saying? Your significant other supposed to be your best friend, to be out 3. Like once you actually have a significant other, that type of role belongs to them, because they supposed to be your, you know what I'm saying, best friend. Because y'all develop that, you know what I'm saying? Supposedly people date right. You know what I'm saying? They already developed that. So, you know what I'm saying?
Reading this comment. The problem I'm hearing is you're not friends with who you love. That's a problem in itself. No, not necessarily, because you can have plenty of friends that you hang out with more than you hang with other ones. You may have more interest with other friends than you have with others. So that doesn't mean that you're not friends with them. That just means you have more interest with the female friend. Except the one that you're dating or married to is giving you sex. That's the only difference. If you don't let the lines be blurred, that is. If you don't have any boundaries in the relationship, that is. At some point, if you can just go out and hang with your female friend like that, no issues, no boundaries, I think the lines can easily be blurred. She talked about how it can be a problem that you only talk to your mother and your aunties and your sisters. I don't think that's a problem. But man, what separates that, I guess, is you're supposed to at one point leave your parents and cleave to your wife. At this point, it sounds like you just you cleaving to your female best friend, and you're trying to have your cake and eat it too with your wife and girlfriend.
Yeah. I mean, I just, like I said before, I just, the whole red flag thing is crazy itself. Everybody's a red flag, if you want to be honest with you. To a certain degree, there's somebody out there that think there's something wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? I just look at if a guy or a girl, I mean, a guy or a woman, vice versa, only want to talk to their, opposite sex family members about certain things, I don't feel like that has to be a wrong thing. I don't think there's a right or wrong thing with that. That's just their preference, and still have associates or people they respect. But you know what I'm saying, some people they just cool with their family like that. Let's be honest. I'm real cool with my people. There's stuff that I ain't told nobody, but I told my people because we just got that type of relationship like that, and I don't think that's a right or wrong thing with that. And that's why I said some people upbringing is different. And like that statement she made. It's like you gotta really look at all the variables in it. Everybody grew up different, you know what I'm saying? So some people just cool with their family like that.
I don't think that she was saying there's the problem with the family though. Like I'm cool with my family. Like I'm dead. I'm an
So
only child. I'm an only
Mhm.
child.
mhm,
So I only had like you know what I'm saying. So if I only dealt with my family or males in my family though to ask a question, if you dealing with let's say your mom, your father, something like that, you dealing with somebody that is a lot of times going to have the same perspective as you because that person raised you. You know,
mhm,
if you dealing with a person that had that type, if you ask, like, if I ask my mom for her, opinion about something, 9 times out of 10, I might be able to tell you what it is because my mother raised me. So I know I know her values, her morals, I'm saying, so if I just go to my pops about a thing, then it's coming from, his opinion, of course, is somebody that raised me and his opinion is going to be coming from the place of not always but it could be coming from the place of "Well, that's my daughter," and so his opinion or his advice could be skewed at times. Whereas if I talk to another person that's, let's say, a neutral party, that's a male figure, they might have a different view on it or a different input in it than per se what my father would have. I don't have brothers to ask, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I can ask my cousins, but you understand where I'm coming from? So I think that
yeah,
that's kind of where the point that she was making, that if the only women you have is your auntie and your mom in your life, if these are the same women that raised you, and that's
mhm,
also who you go into, the only women you go into for advice, you know then it's gonna come with a certain, not a bias, but a certain amount of bias almost, because that's who raised you, and it's only gonna be one's perspective, so to say, because that's the perspective you've been given your
yeah,
whole life. That's the input you've had your whole life. So if you get older and that's still the only input that you're getting in your life from a female standpoint, then you still, it's just going to be advice coming from your mama. That's going to be different advice that you might get from one of your homegirls. That might be different advice than you get from a peer of yours that's not of the same sex as you.
mhm,
It could still be somebody that you value, somebody that you possibly grown up with, but it might not be your mom. There might have
okay,
been things that you could, something like that. So I think that that's what she was coming to as far as the mommy auntie piece, not downplaying being close with your family because that's always appreciated. But if
mhm,
that's the only perspective that you have is the perspective from a woman that's your mother, sometimes it's hard for another woman to try to get a perspective in there because you can't think about nothing but how your mama do it, and the way your mama do it ain't always the right way, or not a right or wrong way, but it's not the only way. Sometimes if we have, another perspective, it may could broaden somebody's horizons. Nothing against the family.
yeah, so,
I
yeah,
think that's important, but at a level of, here's the thing, like if I'm in a relationship, does what the advice I get from my friend supersede the advice I get from my woman? Because once I'm in a relationship, I don't need to take a woman friend, like a friend, a platonic female friend's advice over, like, if I want the female perspective, I get that from the woman I'm in a relationship with. And I don't get why we never want to go, like, instead of going to a friend or family member or an auntie, like couples counseling, because we need to start with an unbiased third party to go to when we're having an issue in our relationships, instead of my own female friend who is probably going to be biased towards my view of things, or your own male friend who is probably going to be biased towards your view of things. And we also have to take into consideration when you go to your friends about somebody, about someone that you're with, they're your friend. That bias is going to play into how they see that person moving forward. Even though that, oh, we're good, we worked it out, they're still going to have that thought in their mind of, but what I'm saying, I remember you told me she cheated, so you know what I'm saying. So what I'm saying, and you can't control how people feel about that. So excuse me. I always just still question why this woman even why that's a necessity for her. Like, is that a necessity, or she's saying that's a necessity for her man? Cool, I guess. Like, because also with it's not that you shouldn't have a outside perspective besides just your mother, besides just your aunt. But yeah, there's also your female cousins, your sister, You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of relationships that men and women do coexist in that I feel like she glanced over because she was, trying to say that you shouldn't be this and you shouldn't be that. But again, if she and then she went on to display that she had a perfect friendship with a male chef that, it's cool, it's this, it's that. Okay, if that is the case, then you're kind of explaining nothing for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Like if that's really what it seems like she just wants to be able to be the kind of friend that can have access to a man when he's in a relationship regardless. Because if she didn't go on to say anything about her relationship. So I don't know. I don't know. She's another Derek
Sparky,
Jackson's out.
maybe this is what I have more of a problem with. Like I get what you're saying. You can get someone else's perspective on maybe an issue you have in a relationship. I think the name friend, like instead of someone
The title.
I'm cool with, I can, of course I can ask advice for someone I'm cool with. I can even ask somebody advice for somebody on the street. There's been plenty of people. I just go into Walmart and just try to come out with some turkey wings, and they ask me about how to fix something that's going in a relationship. I'm like, I don't know who you are. Why are you talking to me? So I think that's probably what I have the problem with. It's probably just being called friendship, and then there's just things I think you just can't do without it turning into something or causing issues with your significant other. I think that's what I have a problem with. I think you can ask for advice from other people, I guess that's of the opposite sex, and they don't have to be your friend. But beyond that, I think that's what I kind of have an issue with is how far can it go when you're, hanging out with each other, or like I said, and doing things that me and her are supposed to do, or me and my male best friend do. It can blur the lines between friendship into maybe this can turn into something more. And I'll say this for another thing too. It's more of an issue for guys than women. I'll say it. Women can be friends easier than a guy can be friends with a female. You don't usually hear guys say, I put her in the friend zone. You usually hear women say, I put him in the friend zone, and he's just hanging with me. And guys will respect that. Most guys will respect, hey, I'm in the friend zone. I can't do anything with her. I've probably tried, but she put me in the friend zone. Most of the time, that's how it works out. Probably majority of the time, that's how it works out. A guy's like, he's doing all these nice things, cutting the grass, cooking, and doing, elaborate things for you. And then you're like, well, I'm not really interested for you. And then all of a sudden, you probably can attest to this, Sparky. You can tell me if I'm wrong or not. You've probably had some male friends that have done all these things for you, and not your, your ones your day to day, but some guys are like, oh, I'm gonna do this for you, or I'm gonna fix this for you. And then you told him, oh, I'm not that interested. And all of a sudden he falls back. And you don't hear him. Yeah, that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens. They can fix your car.
Yeah.
They can, cut the grass. They the best this, that. And then when they realize it's not ever going to be anything, because I think I'm serious, like, oh yeah, they fall back. People it hard, quick.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, well, that wasn't genuine. You weren't just trying to be friends. So of course people use, that friend role. We could just be friends. You know what I'm saying? And people do it all the time. So I agree. I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. I even think the term friend is a strong term. You can be acquaintances with people.
Yes. Yeah.
We can know each other. We can, like you said, we could be cool with each other. You know what I'm saying? You could be my trivia buddy. That could be, you the person I see at the fight all the time. We go
Right.
watch something at the same place. But to take it to friends, my friends know my mama name. My friends know my mama, her real name, not just Miss, what I'm saying, Miss Kimbrough, Miss King, Miss, you know what I'm saying? They be like, oh, that's Miss Celeste. That's, da, 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 da. My friends know my mama's phone number. They know if something, my friends know how to get in contact with my mama all the way in California. You know what I'm saying? If something is going on with me, things like that, I don't have a bunch of friends. I don't, girlfriends or guy friends. I have some people, that some people, some, acquaintances, people I deal with, people that I know, but I have a lot of friends, though. That's a strong term. So I get that.
Right.
I understand that. I understand that.
What's going
And
on,
I don't
Breezy?
know when I hear her talking. Hey, Breezy, when I
Buddy.
hear her, the lady
No,
talking
no.
too, pretty good, baby. I thought like she was talking about her chef friend. It seemed like some of that might have been that's how you feel because that's the situation that you're in. Or
Oh,
you
your
feel
mic,
because that's the
your voice went down when you hit something. Your voice went down.
Oh, I think there was a
Oh,
bug flying in and
I
I
hear you,
hit it,
sir.
and I think it made the mic go up. Yeah, but I think that too because like how she was talking about her chef friend, she was like, "'Cause I ain't gonna change that," and because that's how she feels. I think some of that might be projection, because she wants to have these male friends that she's claimed she's not going to get rid of. So I think that she, because she feels like it's healthy, her situation, that to her is unhealthy if the counterpart is not doing the same. But that's because that's the life that she wants to live. That's what she wants to do. She wants to continue to have, her chef male friend that's going to cook for her and different things. And she don't want nobody that's going to see that as a problem. So you're gonna try to find somebody that has their own friends, somebody that would understand, somebody that would kind of go along with that. Because if you found somebody else, they're gonna push against it. They're gonna kick back against it. Then you're gonna be, at odds with the person that you like or love because they're not down with your friend situation. So I think that that's some of that too.
Okay,
When you
Breezy.
get into a
Oh,
situation
sorry.
where you don't need, I'm sorry, no, I'm just gonna say when you get into it, when you fall in love, you get into a situation where you just feel like you don't need nobody else but that other person. Then sometimes, needing that friend of the opposite sex and that kind of thing can possibly go away.
Breezy, what do you think about this? I don't know if you got to see the video or know what the subject we're talking about, where Joy Taylor says it's a red flag if men do not have female friendships. And I mean, so in like a committed relationship, can you still have female friendships in a committed relationship? Do you think that's a red flag?
Um, hmm. I think I agree with what you said before that it's kind of hard for guys to be friends with females. Um, but I'm pretty sure there are dudes that have female friends. I mean, I don't know. I just think it's difficult for men to be friends with female. But you should have a. I don't see anything wrong as long as it's respectful. Like,
Hmm.
like y'all really are really friends. Like, yeah, like, ew. I'm like, that's my friend. Like, maybe somebody you grew up with in public school or something like that. For years. You know. But I was told, like what you mentioned, a guy said it is kind of difficult for men to be friends with females because he made a comment. He says, right now, if your female friend called you up and said, "Yo, come over," you probably would. That's the statement
Mm.
he said. You probably would. As a man, you probably would. So I don't know. I I think everybody should have friends of the opposite sex, but friends though, because I don't know.
Would
I just know guys. Like you made that comment. I've been in a situation when a person they do everything for you, and as soon as you say nah, we cool, they fall back because their intentions was to do all these things to win me over, but I didn't see them in that way.
right?
They I thought we were cool, but he was more attracted to me. I wasn't attracted to him. I thought he was really cool. I was like, oh man, we're gonna be good friends, but he didn't see that. So then all of a sudden, he's just like, oh, what happened? You good? Yeah, I'm all right. But I knew I was like, oh man, I think it's the dude like me. So it's hard sometimes. Like he said it's hard for guys to be friends with females. I don't think it's impossible,
No, it's not impossible.
but if the female is attractive, you know, with today, I don't even think they have to be attractive. I just think men is. regardless. And she says, "Oh, come over." I just think that would happen. That's how I feel. But I think we should have friends from the opposite sex. If they're friends or associates, whatever we want to call them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We got another participant in here, Aisha, comedian Aisha. She wouldn't be put in. She got something to say about the subject matter. So,
All right.
What's up, Aisha?
Hey, Aisha.
Aisha, the question, I think you already got it, but I'll say it again, just repeat it. Is it a red flag for men to have female friends when they're in a committed relationship? Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right, perfect. I said, no, I think males should have a female friend. Without question, the way she's saying it in the video, I see how it's being taken by men by saying, okay, well, you can't hang out with your male friends 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Can you though? If they're really your friend, they're going to respect your boundaries. So you're not going to put yourself in a situation where I can't be around them to 2 or 3 in the morning because I don't know if I can be trusted around them. Those aren't your real friends. Those are just someone trying to get at you. I have a lot of male friends, and all my male friends respect who I am in their life and what they are to me as just a friend. I have plenty of friends that's been in my house 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Yes, I've been in relationships when this is going on, but I'm also in relationships with people that I friend during the time. So when I'm talking to someone and I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be someone that I like, we become friends as we become a couple. So at that point, when there is situations like my situation right now, he has a female best friend. And sometimes they're up late at night. I'm not worried about that because if I trust him, there's nothing that's going to change that. And even if I didn't trust him, there's nothing going to change that. If he's with a female and he does something else, I can't change that. He has to be man enough to respect me and himself. There's no question to that. And if he doesn't, I still can't change that. I just make the decision whether I'm going to stay with him or not. Do I trust him or not? When it comes down to going on trips with your girls, this is 2024. Let's be 100% honest. You got to worry about the women just the way you got to worry about the men. So you worried about someone being around someone of the opposite sex at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning is dumb. You saying they can be with their girlfriend, they over there getting their coot licked better than you could ever do at home. Let's just be honest. If you trust someone, you trust them. If you don't, you don't. If you feel like you can't have a female in your life because she's got male friends that she talks to, then is it the female that's the problem, or is it your insecurities because of what you've done in your past?
No, because you got to have boundaries at some point. You got to have, everybody has boundaries at some point in their relationship, what you don't do and what you do. There's laws in this world, not because we should be able to trust people in this world, but we know we have to have laws to give people boundaries. That means that people are not going to do it. There are laws put in place for people not to rob and steal, and there are consequences for that to prevent people to even think about going to do those certain things. Not because, well, let's say a rule for this put in a relationship. You put in a rule in a relationship not to hang out at 3 in the morning, not to go on cruises and stuff like that, not to have these endearing conversations with someone otherwise besides you. It puts a boundary into place so you don't want to go do these type of things. People can go rob and steal all day, but if there's no laws put into place, you have Babylon. You have people going to rob and steal left and right. You have people go break into Family Dollar and steal items like they kind of do right now. But the reason why people go into Family Dollar left and right, because there's no security in there. There's no police to guard Family Dollar from people stealing in there. And if you don't have rules and boundaries in relationships, you're setting yourself up for failure. If you don't have rules and relationships to hang out with somebody at 5 in the morning, hell, there's rules where some people don't even want you to go and hang out with your male friends to 5 in the morning because sometimes ain't nothing but trouble.
However, that comes with an unspoken rule. That comes with an unspoken boundary. And if you have actually verbalized that with your person, then at that point, yeah, it's your responsibility to fulfill that you guys agreed to. But if you haven't, it goes back to a respect level. Okay, well, yeah, my friends can come over 3 or 4 in the morning, but you know what? I noticed he was insecure last time. I don't want to put him in that situation. Or I invite him to join us, and if he chooses not to and says, "Hey, babe, this is it's a little late, and I feel like you probably shouldn't be that late. You know, things happen. Not that I don't trust you, but I just don't feel comfortable." Then yeah, I respect that. But outside of that, if if again you're my friend first as we're dating, then no, we're gonna. You already know you can trust me because I have respect for myself that I don't look at any of my friends in a sexual matter. So I have enough respect to say there's boundaries regardless. It could be 8 o'clock in the afternoon. That boundary is still going to be there out of respect for myself and out of respect for my friends.
Mhm.
So it's
What's
not like go
go ahead.
ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, it's not like I'm just going out there choosing to be disrespectful. If that's verbalized in your relationship, sure. That unspoken rule that's may not be verbalized, that's when you have to have those real conversations. Says, hey, babe, I have a lot of male friends. You met them all. If they haven't, whatever, that's between you and him, or whatever reason you're not letting them meet him. But at that point, that needs to be okay. Well, like myself, I do comedy. I'm up to 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Actually, past that for the most part, and with who? A bunch of guys. So you're saying to quit my job? Saying quit my career because you got trust issues because we're in a relationship? No. No, what happens? My man comes to the shows. My man comes to open mics. He comes to because of the fact he knows that's part of what I do. And no, I'm not saying, oh, that's my job, so ignore it. I'm saying in general, that's a part of who I am. The
Okay.
same
This
thing
is
can happen 3 in the
yeah.
morning, can happen 2 in the afternoon.
That's also true, though. That's true. But you also have things in the place where you can feel protected in certain situations versus going to hang out by yourself with someone else. There's a difference between being a public place and doing these things. Yeah, you have to go to work. Yeah, you have to drive to work and you can get in a car accident and you can protect yourself just by being home all the time. You have to go to work. You have to do these things. I'm talking about just hanging out, purposely choosing to go on vacations, purposely choosing to hang out with the other person like that. You have boundaries for a reason. It's like you don't want your child hanging out or spending the night with just anybody. Now, you can talk to that person and say, hey, don't do nothing to them. But the real world doesn't work that way. We know people are going to be tempted to do bad things. So you purposely try to put them in a place where they're protected, maybe keep them home, or maybe have them come spend the night with you. I know there's a children versus grown-ups is a different story, but you put someone in a place where they'll feel protected and you don't have to worry about them.
But as
So
an adult, they need to they need to be the one responsible for that, not anyone else. So in other words, again, if you are worried about me being out, I need to have enough respect for myself and you to say, you know what, I'm not going to put myself in that situation, or I'm not going to put myself in a situation where I'll have you concerned. But if you are comfortable enough
that's
with
what I'm
me,
saying.
and if you're comfortable enough with me, you know what I do, you trust me, then if by chance that happens, you're not concerned with what happened. Because I'm not choosing to go against you. I'm not choosing to make things worse. If the situation transpires, one of y'all come over 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning because y'all going through whatever. You know my door's open. But it doesn't matter. That's not going to change my relationship. That's not going to change. And I understand I'm using like a example, but it's the same example with going on vacation with your friends. There's a difference between going on vacation with friends and having a romantic getaway. There's a difference between having a friendship with your girl and having a friendship with your homegirl, because your friendship is going to include things that you can't provide to your regular friends, more than just sex. It's a mental piece. It's a physical piece. There's so much to that can separate. Even if you cool, me and you cool. That's my home. That's my dog. Yeah, I'll come to you. But you're not the one whispering in my ear words of encouragement. You may encourage me, but you're not in my ear. You see what I'm saying? We can have this conversation, but you're not making it intimate. So the intimacy level changes between that friendship and relationship. And if that's there, then you have nothing to worry about. If you're going to worry 24/7, don't even think about being in a relationship.
Well, I mean, the friendship aspect can turn into an intimacy thing if she is whispering certain things of encouragement, because friends can do that too. Maybe not whispering each other's ears, but they
That's
can
what I'm
whisper
saying.
words of encouragement.
But
What
that's the difference.
separates?
I said
What,
that friends can give you words of encouragement. It's a difference of
what,
how you deliver it, which separates the friend from the relationship.
What will separate friend and relationship then? What separates them? If they can do all these things that the friend or all these things that the relationship can do, what separates between you and the relationship?
It's how it's done.
Besides sex.
It's how it's done. It's the
What do you
intimacy
mean?
and how it's done. But I literally verbatim just gave examples. I mean, did y'all not hear the examples?
Anybody can do that though in a friendship. You have
I did
No,
hear
no,
the
I gave the difference
example, like
between
with
two.
your. I'm sorry to cut, but I
No,
did
go
hear
for
the
it.
example of your, giving. They can always come over at any time of the night to, if they have something to talk about, they're going through something. That's kind of an instance of being more accessible to your friends at the expense of your relationship.
Not
And
true.
if that's how you conduct relationships, that's totally fine. That's depending upon the person you're in a relationship with. But you would have to understand how anybody, male, like we have this conversation when it comes to men, but women do not want a man allowing a woman to come over at any time of night to talk about whatever man is doing her wrong, sit down on his couch and cry on his shoulder while your girl is in the back sleep, probably has to be up for work in the morning. It might be like no woman wants to, because here's the thing. We worry about men in a sexual sense when it comes to our relationships with females. What women don't like to admit is when y'all are in relationships with men, sometimes, not all the time, it's not the sex that'll actually muddy things up. It's the emotional attachment. Because women,
Exactly.
as your relationships conduct, you want to talk about things. How was your day going? My day was like this. You want to divulge and express. When a man is in a relationship, he doesn't need to do that much divulging and expressing with other women when he already has a woman who should be getting 100% of his emotions.
It's
So
vice
I
versa.
understand, I completely understand a man should definitely have different perspectives on womanhood before he engages in a healthy relationship with a woman. He doesn't actively have to conduct friendships with women while trying to conduct a relationship because, as I found it personally, some women have too much emotional attachment over their friends. Y'all kind of do this with each other when your homegirls get into a relationship with the dude and
Mhm.
you go to Twitter or you go to whatever social media site and say, I hate when they get in a relationship, they come running back after that nigga do them wrong. That's an emotional attachment to your friends that does not exist when it's a male friendship. And when it's super platonic, yeah, you have to understand that, especially as we get older, our kicking it is not the same. Our hanging out is not the same. If even if I'm sitting at the house, that is the time for me and my woman, especially if we cohabitate together. To have to entertain a third guest that is the same sex as my significant other is a little, especially like women don't like to admit it, but you do not want to see your man give his emotional self to another woman to the same degree as you.
Yeah, I agree with
Even if
that.
she's his friend, you want to see a clear line that defines this is just my friend, which means I'm not opening the door for her at 2 in the morning when she's devastated over a breakup. Because we're adults. This is what you talk to a therapist or a professional about, not a
Totally
friend
agree.
who has their
Mhm,
own emotional baggage to deal with. We're kind of
mhm,
inconsiderate in our friendships, and we
mhm.
expect our friends to do the emotional weight carrying for us when we should be doing that for ourselves.
Yes, everyone doesn't do that for themselves. Everyone doesn't go to therapy. But on that same note, you took it from just a friend needing something, which I stress, just needing something, to a friend that wants to talk about their relationship at 3 in the morning. No, if Nick came to me at 3 in the morning and said, "I'm nervous, my child's running," my doors are open. Now, if Nick talk about some chick at 3 in the morning, yeah, I'm gonna be concerned because where was the respect for me for him to say, "Nah, I'm not gonna bring that type of issue to Aisha." Yeah, we can talk about it, but there's a different level of busting in my house at 3 in the morning for that. But as my friends, Red, you can come to my house 3 in the morning. Tim, you can come to my house at 3 in the morning if you're going through something. That's where that respect for a person and a friendship is. But if I'm saying, come over, tell me about your problem with your girl, oh, let me make you some tea, then that's the intimacy I just discussed. That's the intimacy I just said should separate your friendship from your relationships.
It should, but more of the time, like LT says, it does not. A
Like,
lot of
and again,
times, if you're in an intimate or speaking
I
on
didn't know
something
T
intimate,
made
you're
it more
speaking on
intimate.
something that's going on in either your relationship or her relationship, and y'all
mhm,
are just friends. Most of the time, at least by my experience anyway, you may not want anything to do with them in a relationship wise or sexually, and it can be taken the wrong way. And that's where the lines can be blurred. I'm like, no, I'm just talking to you as a friend. And next thing you know, she wants to date you. I'm like, no, I just wanted to talk to you as a friend. That happens quite a bit.
It does. It
And
happens.
vice versa with guys. Here's the vice versa with guys. I think happens is guys can tend to talk to females and talk about their issues, and they think women want to have sex with them, and it
And
may not
they,
be
yeah.
nothing to do with it. Yeah, but I'm saying the line, that's where the lines can easily be blurred, even when you talk to them and say, hey, these are the rules right here. Don't move past it. They're like, well, she don't know what she wants. Keep pursuing her like Pepe Le Pew, and eventually she's gonna break down, and then we're gonna be in a relationship and have 5 kids and a white picket fence and a big 2-story
Let's
house.
be honest. Sometimes women keep those friends in their lives that this man likes you. You know he wants to be more than your friend. And I hate when it gets used as a man's insecurity because just like when a woman tells you, ooh, that girl that says she's your friend, she actually likes
Like,
you, she has a thing for you, and you should be able to listen to that and trust your woman when she says that. We don't do that or women don't do that as much when it comes to men. And what'll happen sometimes is that male friend will make a move, y'all won't tell us about it, and you'll continue to hang out with this dude and we'll be none the wiser. We have to be more honest about the nature of people when they are in our lives. We know, men know. Hey, look, I don't really mess with this girl like that, but she be letting me drive her car. She be letting me stay over at her house when I ain't got nowhere to go. She kind of ugly, but you know what I'm saying, and she be letting me hit on the side sometimes. But when I get into a relationship, I don't want to let that go. So I tell my significant other, she just a friend. She just my homegirl. She cool. All she just let me do this, do this. Like she really just cool. Like we all have things and a side of ourselves that we don't show to people, and that comes down to even our friends. So our
you just
significant
went
others. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
you literally just reneged on, like you just contradicted everything you said because you were just talking about how that one friend let you do everything and hit on the side. That's not a friend. That's a fuck buddy. Sorry, I don't know if I
That's
can
what
say
I'm
that on
saying.
live, but
Our
that's
lines
what
get
it was.
muddy. Nobody just and no one just outwardly refers to themselves as fuck buddies anymore. Because again, when we get into
No,
relationships,
sorry.
we lie about the nature in which we were interacting with this person.
Let
When
me
your
say, Lord
girlfriend has
Trent,
you against the ropes and she's
I'm gonna
saying,
cut you
"Who
off
is
and tell you
this?"
this. You don't know
Mhm.
me enough to say that because the guys on here know me very well. And that's why they laughing at your ass. I'm that one that can do it. Maybe it's just the level of women
I
you
don't
know
think
and deal with.
anybody's laughing at me. I
Eh,
think we're just laughing. But go ahead.
mm, uh, the level of women that have been in your life and the level of people in general that's been in your life. It sounds like they haven't fully grown up yet. They haven't gotten to that point where they can dismiss it. And I've seen it with my friends. I've seen my girlfriends get to a point where once they get in a relationship, you like, oh, I didn't even know they were like that. That's kind of childish or whatever. And that's what it sounds like. It sounds like you're dealing with more of a different mental woman. But me, I mean, I can only speak for me, but I'm gonna speak for those me's around me, the other female friends that I know are close that I can say are like this. Only two I really rock with. um, yeah, no, you're saying that no one calls it a fuck buddy. No, we still call them fuck buddies, whether you want to admit it or not. And you're still crossing those lines and boundaries. I've had male friends try to cross that line and boundary, and because of that, we're not friends today.
Right.
So it's not the same for everybody. It's
Right.
all again goes back to that level of respect for yourself and what you allow and what you do to other people.
Mhm. And sometimes in what you were just saying, in that case, there's some guys, once you set that boundary, they can still be your friend. They're like, okay, I just know I'm not gonna be able to go past a certain point. But
Yeah.
in some guys' mindset, they're like, well, I'm her friend for now
But
until
we
she
can't control that.
falls flat on her face and she's like,
That's kind of
I
you
got
can
to find
control that. You
somebody.
can
You can't control
control
that
the
if
people
you
that
can't
you
control
allow
that if
in
you
your
don't
life.
know that. No, you can't control that if you don't know that's their intentions after you set boundaries and you never
Yeah.
seen any of that. You don't know that. That's just like saying someone from Walmart
I
is
think
digging
we're
you and
being a
can't reach
little
you.
ignorant towards how, like, again, if these people in our lives are so close to us, we know them so well. I think we're all intuitive enough to know when someone is in our life and for what reasons they're in our life.
Exactly.
If you've had to set one boundary, you know that person. And honestly, I'm not into giving them a chance to offend multiple boundaries, especially if it's something as stern as I'm in a relationship and you just disrespected me and my relationship by overstepping that boundary.
And what I say to do, cut them off. And if you go past that, that's on you. But these gentlemen here know, and well, I know at least Red knows at least one or two of them that I had to do that too. And we were close until they crossed the line.
Yeah.
But again, that goes back to self-respect. You can't do it for yourself. I can't help you. Yeah, go to therapy. I fully agree with that.
I'll say this, and you, Sparky, T, you spoke on it, and Aisha, you spoke on it. You ladies, I want to call you guys. You ladies are unique in how you say you handle guys. You have many male friends, and you're cool with it, and you can set boundaries and be friends with it. I think that's a unique situation. I do not think that is the general status of most women. That I don't think they can handle being multiple friends. They can have people they're cool with or acquaintances. And like I said, like I was telling you earlier, I've gotten or given advice to people in Walmart, and I just went there to shop for some turkey wings and try to come out and go home and eat and go to sleep later because of the tryptophan inside of it. But I don't think that's a general statement where most men or women can have multiple female friends and multiple male friends and be in a committed relationship without the lines getting blurred to where someone thinks someone could be potentially their husband, or on the male side, potentially she may want to have sex with me without boundaries being put into place. I don't think it can be a free for all. Like you can just be friends like you can, like males can be friends with their male friends and females can be friends with their female friends. I think that's unique amongst you two. Praise to you, both of y'all can do that. But I don't think that's a general statement, which is why I don't agree with Joy Taylor saying that's a red flag for a man not to have female friends. And I kind of, like I was telling you earlier, Sparky T, sometimes I kind of maybe the word friendship or friends is blurred for me, because I don't give that title out just to anybody.
Right.
I'm people I'm cool with. I can go to a party and I can talk to you, or I can go outside and talk to you and tell you some issues or whatever like that. But I won't tell you everything about me. I only tell that to my closest of friends. And then there's boundaries, even with my friends, even with my male friends. I ain't gonna tell them everything. I got boundaries with that. There's stuff I want with my mother and stuff like that. But speaking on that, but maybe that's what I have the issue with the most is the wording friend.
Yeah.
People I'm cool with and friends are two different things for me.
So, Reg, you don't have a friend that you like grew up with, like let's say since grade school. You ain't never seen her that way, really. Y'all ain't never tried each other. Y'all still to friends like right to today.
Since grade school, if I do, she was ugly.
Yeah, like grade school. Okay.
She was ugly.
But I mean, so what? Because she was ugly, that kept you from blurring the lines?
Or
is that what you're saying?
Or she was not attractive in other ways. She was intellectually unattractive, or she was physically unattractive.
So you just weren't attracted to her. So if there's a female around that you just weren't attracted to her, so you were able to be friends with her because you weren't attracted to her.
Because I couldn't go past the boundary.
Because you couldn't see the blurred line.
Yeah.
So you just need ugly friends.
Hey, I'm an ugly friend.
Of course.
I was waiting on it. So I'm an ugly friend.
Would you necessarily say it's a red flag though?
No, I think the word red flag is overused.
Oh, okay.
So I think
that's the contradicting thing of it. All this, the red flag. Like I said earlier, it's overhyped. Because if we are a red flag, if you want to be real with it, somebody think there's somebody that think that there's something wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? So,
Sparky T, let me hit you back with that. What I was about to say before I let Aisha go, what she was about to say. I'm unique. I feel like I'm unique, like you guys are unique. I can be friends with females and not take it a step further, and I can cut it off there. But I'm unique. I do not think most men are like that. I think I am very unique. I think I'm in the 0.5% of guys that can do that.
Well,
I
first
don't.
off, you're not that unique because first you're not
Look,
special. I do that too. I do that too. You're not the
So
only
y'all,
one.
do
You're not
you hear the
special.
you are the
numbers? You do it
0.5%
too, and
too.
Tim is the same way. Y'all not understanding. There's a lot of people like that. You're just focused more on the people who put it out and put
No,
their
no, no,
illness
no.
out in the streets that
There's a
pretty
difference.
much act like it, or this. Well, we just got a whole pen on unicorns.
There's a difference between being able just to talk and say cut it off, and then somebody say, you know what, I think I want to give you some pussy tonight, and then they're like, well, if you feel like you got to, I think as a friend, I think I'll take it. I feel like I can stop it and be like, nah, we just friends.
Right.
That's pussy mismanagement.
We can call it the way it is, but I think I'm unique like that. Unless you gay, then you can do that, I guess. But I don't think most people or most guys can do that or want to do that. Let's just say that. Oh, he done brought the Bible out. Well, let me cut that back. I didn't mean to say the P word. China, I meant to say he done brought the Bible out. I can't talk about Bible now. But I think I'm unique when it comes to it. If we got a cast of unicorns, I don't think most guys, if they were to speak honestly, if you were to say, I'm feeling bad and I really want to give you some pussy tonight, most of them ain't gonna turn it down.
Are these men in relationships or are they just lonely to play?
Either or.
See, I don't get it. We can generalize about men, but we're only speaking specifically.
If they take it, then clearly there was some feelings before that moment came up.
Yes.
Right, and that won't really a friend. They just had that motive. But like
what
you said,
about
you
the
sometimes
motive of
don't know.
I offered this man some pussy out of nowhere to make him feel better? Like, what was her motive for that? Like, that's friendship. Like, what part of the friendship was you're sad? Let me offer you some pussy.
That's they in a whole show, and that's been there too. That's both of them you had to worry about for the beginning, not just one. Anytime a female's like, oh, let me just offer you this vagina. Number one, her vagina ain't even exclusive anymore. She just throwing it out there because you sad. Just give a hug. Is that what her vagina's doing? Giving hugs? It's fixing things. That's pussy mismanagement. Just like I said, there's a lot of dick mismanagement, a lot of pussy mismanagement,
Yeah,
and
you're right.
there's definitely a lot of it out there. So anybody that says that she wanted you from the beginning too, that means both of y'all should have never been around each other. Unless y'all were clear for them jump what was to happen. Y'all playing and waiting, that's dumb. That means a relationship would never actually happen between the two of you, not an honest one, because you couldn't trust other people around y'all. Because you know what you were doing. She knew what she was doing. You couldn't trust nobody.
You get them how you lose them.
But when we get in relationships, we don't like to let those people go. We'll tell our current significant other, they're just a friend. Biz Markie made a whole song about it.
And she made a song on me. Well, I'm gonna love this unicorn outfit I'm in because let me.
Hey, LT, what'd you say? I can't get I'm sad. Can't get some pussy. That.
I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna start going up to random men like, oh, I'm disappointed.
I'm sad.
Can I get some
I was wondering
Okay. Let's speak on that. If Aisha, I guarantee you, if you were to go out there in the street and do that and say, hey, I'm hard up on getting some penis, I guarantee you the majority of the men, without having to be your friend or knowing who you are, you're like, all right.
Right.
But
then the real question is, with my friends
want to be your friend?
That's the question. The ones I consider my friends.
Ulterior motive is what I'm saying.
But if I did that, and if I did that secretly to each person I consider a friend, I know for a fact out of the
fuck that Bible, Tim.
Out of the 5 male friends,
Bible, they would.
They would know.
If they put their hand on 10 Bibles and swear to tell the truth, they would probably say yes.
Well, Tim, one of my friends, Tim.
That Bible was written by the actual devil. How about
Tim in front of you right now? You got to be in front of him.
But Tim is one of my friends. I know you're one of my friends. Tim, what I'm saying is, I guess I surround myself with unicorns because I know that the people I'm close now. There's plenty of people around me. You know that because I'm around guys all the time with the comedy scene. But as far as those I consider a friend. No, I don't think unless y'all just holding some feelings I don't know of, but for the most part, no. For the most part, if I just like, I need some dick, and y'all know I got a whole comedy set about being addicted to dick, so you know I need a dick. You know what I'm saying? But I'm I don't think anybody's
You
going to
wouldn't
respond
have to
to that.
do that. See, but see, that was the point I was getting ready to make. Is it's different for men and women. See, if a guy were to go and do the same thing I was telling you, would go do with a bunch of guys in the street, he would get turned down majority of the time. Versus if you were to do that in the street and say, "Hey, I'm hard up, I need some dick," you would get offers left and right majority of the time. There is a difference between men and women when it comes to that. There's a difference between who's in each other's DMs versus how it is for women. Women don't really stress over getting men like that than women do for men, or women don't stress over getting men than men do for women. It's just a different dynamic. It's not the same.
And was there Sparky? Please stop me if I'm wrong. But that statement really just happens, and I might just be an ass for this, just based on how you look. Cause I've mismanaged my coochie a time or two because the face was cute. Let's just be honest. Sparky, am I wrong? Am I wrong?
She ain't told no lies. She did. Yeah, she didn't lie. She didn't lie.
The point you missing is you had way more options.
That's because the face represented something else. You guys as men, y'all go for titties, ass, whatever. You got to see a face. You can be you can look like what's the thing, Charles and Miss Netta, and still no. Here's the thing: it's still an option for females. It's just our body be like, nah, like exactly. I'm not gonna put myself in a situation where my coochie dry up because your face didn't match your chest.
No, you have options. We don't have as many options, is what I'm saying.
Y'all have them.
If that's the case, then why do you think there's way more strip clubs for women than there is for men? Because you have way more because men are hard pressed on seeing ass and titties than women are seeing dick and balls. It's different.
You don't care about
it's a different dynamic. There's probably one strip club for every 1,000, one male strip club for every 1,000 female strip clubs, and there's a reason for that.
Because we cheap. I ain't gonna pay for your penis to be wiggling in front of me doing the elephant.
Exactly. That's my point. Y'all can get it way easier than males can get for females. Why do you think there's
even if we couldn't, ain't nobody trying to pay for them to tease us for some shit we can't get in real life. Y'all the dumb ones sit there paying for titties and ass that you can't get. Y'all paying for a sneak preview and gonna come home to Rasputin when you done.
I got an honest question.
You're proving my point because we're more hard pressed than women are.
Exactly.
I got a question go along with Big Red.
The whole friendship dynamic, hanging out with guys, is a different dynamic. Guys can hide their ulterior motives better than women can. That's why I said it's a unicorn situation. It ain't the same for all guys or majority of the guys.
Do women be paying $40 too? Like how men be paying $40?
I know a few.
I'm sure you know a few.
I know a few. You know the stories that be told in that closet has been hilarious to me. I'm like, oh, I just be popping medicine being around them because they look like they be contagious and they be talking about stuff I don't really like. So I just keep
that $40 for something else, some medication.
I keep the clindamycin on deck because the simple fact these people talk like they about to infect me. I'm not even. I just the things. Watching them drink with little bumps in their lips. What? And you talk about, and you and him did that yesterday? Okay, you're nasty.
Hello. These your friends?
No, because you know my friends. These are the shoppies. These are the shoppies.
I know. That's
not my friends. I think the word friends just misused because the way social media use it, like click for somebody to be a friend.
Those associates.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
You know, there's an associates button on Facebook, but nobody uses it because it's not as easy to get to as the friends thing.
Mm.
Did y'all know that? There's an acquaintance.
No, I don't know that.
It's acquaintance. It's acquaintance button. Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen this.
Yep, I can show you. I'll send you. I'll do a screen recording.
You can do an associate request.
It's once you quote unquote friend them, you change their status to associate.
Oh no, I definitely have not seen that. It sounds like a lot of work to be an associate. It's probably just
exactly why everybody just friends. Because it's too much work. Nobody want to go through that.
Yeah, it's kind of like that in real life. Nobody wants to be associate. Everybody want to be friends. They got an ulterior motive. Trying to get in where they fit in. All right, okay. We didn't really come to no common ground, I guess, of this besides, I guess, figuring that maybe the friendship word may be a little bit too deep. what Joy Taylor was saying in her video. That's where I come
Who
with
the
it.
fuck is Joy Taylor?
She is
That's
a
Fred Taylor's sister.
sports analyst on Fox Sports.
That's Jason Taylor's sister.
That's why we shouldn't been listening to this shit anyway. It's on Fox. Fox is the white man.
Right.
This is why we shouldn't have been. Man.
Well, that show in particular is not on Fox Sports. It's just a podcast she does.
Fred, you're a black man and you're lying.
What? What? About what?
You're lying about whatever you were about to say.
Because I'm a black man.
You premeditated lie. Good God Almighty.
You ever know when the bad kid in class get bored, he just start, you know what I'm saying? Like just start throwing shit at the chalkboard.
Nah, that's something you used to do, huh?
I don't care. My mama don't care. Call my mama. She don't care.
That's not a good thing either.
It's not, but that's what so many kids in class yell out when they acting up, and I'm acting up in class right now.
Okay, so we're going to move on from that one then. That will be cool with that one. We're going to move. I got a video. I guess Aisha can deal with this one. This is about dating no-nos. And maybe she's been on one of these dates.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I got a video. I'm going to pop this one up. Let me find it right quick. This may not be a dating no-no. Maybe you might actually agree with what the guy did in this date.
Okay, yeah, because I'm like a whole Negro. That's one of the reasons why y'all like me. I'm a Negro at heart. I party around my friends and everything. I don't even care.
I don't know about that part, but
people see these people. I do. You just don't realize it because mine don't stink.
This bill is only $115, and he telling me to pay for my own food. And you brought me here.
It's only $50.
But so what? It's the point. You brought me here.
These two look like her uncle.
Why would I pay for my own food? I got money, but
It say 3 Long Island on here. I didn't even have a Long Island.
okay. But you asked me what do I drink. I didn't know I was paying for my own stuff.
I mean, I had the transportation.
I'm gonna just pay for my own stuff. I don't even care. I can't believe this, y'all. This is real. Like this is. He's really.
I had the transportation.
He really telling me to pay for.
It costs like $30 in gas to come out here.
$115. $115. And I gotta pay for my own food. I might as well pay for it all. I want to ask you something. If you went out to eat with a dude, if a dude brought you out to eat, and he said, "Are you paying for your own stuff?" Wouldn't you be like?
Me personally, that happened to me before.
It happened to me before too, and it's happening right now. I'm about to pay the whole thing because it's like I want you to know that I got money.
I mean, if that's what you want to do.
Just I'll pay the whole thing. Are you gonna at least tip her? You gonna tip her?
Bro, I told you I didn't.
Oh my God. She looked like. First of all, he looked like her uncle.
Now I'm about to say somebody said like that. I thought it was part of the video. That was you.
Yo, like
that's hilarious.
This is a date, right? They're not together. This is a date.
Well, this is a date. The guy forgot to pay for his eyebrows and any kind of facial hair when he went on his first
We
date.
not gonna eyebrow shame.
I will.
No, we not. Let me come
Hey, I'm gonna shame anybody that got less hair than me. So shoot.
Now you know I got alopecia the eyebrow. You still steady over there talking smack.
I got alopecia everywhere except for the face, the lower half. Anyway. Yes.
But I've actually been on one of those. I don't know how to nicely say this. Yeah, I'm trying to get there, girl. I'm trying to get there.
Take your time, sister.
Fuck that nigga. And it wasn't a cheap bill either. And the problem I have with is the way it was presented. Because if you're asking a young lady out, then the presumption is, and that's maybe it's old school presumption, but I'm old school, is that you're planning to pay. I don't care if it's girlfriend, I don't care if it's your friends. Y'all make that decision before you go, especially if it's friends. Y'all just going out, hey, you want to go out to eat? Hey, I'm not paying them. That needs to be clarified. But if you're asking me on a date and you take me to dinner and then you say we going Dutch, that's gonna be the last time you see me. And that's happened. I like said it happened. I was in Georgia one time and this gentleman was like, hey, let's go eat. He was like, where do you want to go? I was like, I don't know. Let's go somewhere nice. He was like, all right. So we go to Papa Do's. If you know anything about Papa Do's, that's an easy $100 just walking in the door. And he was like, "Oh, you should try this and try that and try this." I was like, "Okay, that's not what I mean." Had me trying everything. He ate like fat rat. He paid the bill. Okay, don't get it twisted. He paid the bill.
Oh, he paid the bill.
Yeah, but when we was leaving, he was like, "Go ahead and cash out me my half." Excuse me. Now I wanted to be Negro and be like, "Just drop your drawers and give me the dick because I know you got it on you." But I didn't do that. I was just like, you know what? This ain't for me. Because it was a lot of miscommunication under the thought process that you're going to take care of this. And even though you quote unquote did, you still got means out of me without it being discussed prior to. Because what if I didn't have it on me? That's just disrespectful. Now, if you agree on the way in, like, hey, I want to go out with you. I mean, are we splitting the bill? Discussion. Other than that, you an asshole and you'll never see me again.
See the way his banking account set up, his checking and savings.
He ain't ready to go out, nigga. He ain't ready to go out.
Did the date go well prior to that? Did y'all have any chemistry, or just like,
Yeah,
okay,
no, it was actually like, I'm an asshole. My cutoff game is kind of strong. We had more than chemistry. We had history together, and that was the first time any mess like that happened. But it was also the last time, and I made it very clear because you disrespected me on too many levels at that point.
You mean on the date?
No, as far as the asking for that later. Yeah, ask for that later. We've been together too long for you to sit there and try to swindle me for probably a place you just couldn't afford from the beginning. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like during the date, did the date go well before it ended? And
it was great. The disrespect came when you asked me to cash up, and then waited. He waited for me to cash up him. That was the problem. Wait, what?
That's weird.
Is it weird?
Yeah, to ask for a cash app afterwards. Yeah,
I think he was doing what most females do to him. Is they make him take them out, blah blah. Because it's like, I know a lot of females. There's always females that talk about they got a man just for food, blah blah blah. And I'm not that person, but I guess that's what they're used to. I don't know. I'm not the one for it.
Breezy, you got a story like this that you've been through in your dating life? You ever had to pay for a whole meal and somebody, well, you at least thought they were gonna pay half of it, or not all of it at least?
Not all of it. He came up short.
Wait, now we're not talking about what happened in the bedroom. We're talking about the date.
No, the bill, he didn't. I don't think he expected the bill to be so much. I was still mad. I thought, you had money, you bragging like you had money, and I was like, that was the last time.
Where'd y'all go at? You know what restaurant?
Restaurant in Footprints in Brooklyn, New York. Footprints, West Indian restaurant.
Ooh, I don't know nothing about that. What's that about?
Nice restaurant. And it wasn't. I don't even think the food was expensive because we just got like appetizers, and I was like, oh boy, that was it for me.
When in the end of the day, what, y'all went Dutch?
We had to go Dutch. He didn't have enough.
Did when he got the bill?
Like, motherfucker.
When he got the bill, did he go?
Oh shit! I said, what? It was only appetizers. He was like, I can't. I thought I had enough. I said, don't even worry about it. No.
I get paid next week. I'll pay you back.
No, you don't got to do all that. You just, it's a turn off. Like, don't even worry about it. And that was it. I just gave. I never went out again. Because, that was just so stupid.
What does that tell you about a guy?
If you stupid?
Oh, it's stupid. Okay, I would want to elaborate a little bit more.
I was gonna say
it just tells me that you're not. First of all, I don't know. You're not prepared. I don't know. Things ain't right.
You're not financially responsible.
Right.
If you can't be responsible for dinner, how you gonna be responsible for past that?
Right. If you don't have it, okay. Nobody's rich.
Verbalize it though.
Right. If you don't have it, then don't pretend that you do. It's okay. But you know, when I have to go on my back, like, why? Oh, this is weird. And I didn't embarrass him. I was mumbling to myself.
Oh, he was already embarrassed.
Yeah, so I didn't want to make things worse. I just said, don't worry about it. And I gave what I gave, but that was it. Because I was like, oh my God. But this, I mean, you're talking over maybe 12 years ago. It never really happened recent, not like that. But I was still upset. I was like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. Like, it wasn't even a meal. It was like appetizers. So what you came out with, $20? $20? What were you getting? 2 for $20? You still got to pay tax.
Applebee's.
So I still would have had to go in my bag for the $2 for the.
Oh, don't forget the tip. Did he get a
what
tip?
about the tip? So I don't know. I know it wasn't cool. I didn't think it was cool. And that's the thing what I had on my show one time. When someone asks you out, is that person responsible for the bill? If I'm telling you, hey, let's go out and get something, that's why you got to have that communication. Like Aisha said, hey, I'm gonna take you out. You paying? Yeah, I got you. Nah, I know. Okay, you got me. But if that's not established, then people today think, oh, well, you just said we were going out to eat. You didn't make it clear that, I had to pay, or I thought you had it. No, you gotta.
Well, I'm gonna say this.
You have to really get the proper info.
I'm gonna say this. If he said, I'm gonna take you out on a date, and you say you're paying, he automatically gonna be like, damn, I guess I better have to pay. Shoot, because I know if I go Dutch with her or she has to pay, I know ain't nothing happened later on. So I better pay. Somehow, somewhere, I better get that credit card, that American Express card. So he gonna pay if you put that pressure on him automatically. He originally probably might have gone Dutch with you, but once you put that you paying, he gonna pay more than likely. Now, unless he's a bitch ass nigga.
You have to say that.
I'm about to say
you shouldn't have to say that.
Facts, because you're talking to Pamela again.
You have to.
No. Again, you're talking to the unicorn. So let me tell you something. Well, we were raised for us to be the helpmate, not doing everything. We were raised for men to be the leaders in our lives. So for the most part, when I date someone, I'm expecting for someone to be able to show me that they can lead as a man. And I understand sometimes you need help, but you're not going to start off this relationship with needing help, because at this point, I'm okay in it for the remainder of the relationship.
Yeah,
that's a problem.
I got you. This is 2024 though.
Right, and so that's the problem.
The reason I say it.
The problem with that is people like myself. I'm a 90s romantic stuck in 2024.
Yeah.
So but I've been very fortunate, very blessed that the men in my life are actual men. They come knowing that they want to take care of the bills, and I'm not saying, oh, you got to. I'm not going to say that. I know, and I've been taught even by previous boyfriends that even if they take care of things, it is my job to save. So when they can't, I got their back. They're providing a situation for me to be safe and say, okay, well, if you're taking care of this, then I can add this money over here for us the in case rule. If you're taking me out to dinner, I expect for you to pay, but anything I order, me personally, anything I order, I do a tally. So if I'm because I'm order what I want to order, whether you pay for it or not, it's just what I do. But like I said, I'm blessed the people that pay for it. So I'm going out, I'm ordering steak, everything I want. The difference is when you pay that bill, I'm leaving a tip, and the tip is going to be the amount of whatever I order. That's just how it is.
I agree with that. That I'll do. I will offer. Hey, I got the tip. Yep. I'll do that.
So Sparky T, you got any nightmare dates that went like that where thought it was going? Nope. Oh, nope. All right. Do what Sparky T did. What did you do, Sparky, that it led to this never happening with you? You just picked right.
I ain't never had nobody ask to take me out and then expect me to pay for shit. Like I'm not doing that. I mean, I guess that's an unspoken rule. Like you said, you got to have boundaries. You got to have rules so that people don't misstep and color outside of the line. So I guess that's who the hell is asking to take me out and then expecting me to pay for some shit?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but on the flip side, wait a minute. But on the flip side of that, if I ask him out, I ain't expecting him to pay for no shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'll be like, but I'm saying that's me.
Yeah.
I'm saying I'll be like, yo, you trying to go get something to eat? I'm saying like, but I ain't paying. I'm not. No, hell no. and I got my own bread, and I still ain't. No, you're not. No, ain't no man taking me out on no date and expecting me to pay for a damn thing. If he is, he need not to be asking me to go out on no date. I'm sorry, but nah, hell to the no. I will leave the tip. I will do that. I'm gonna do that. I don't got no problem leaving the tip because I want to make sure that my service person gonna be tipped right anyway. So I'll leave the tip, but I'm not paying for shit. Nah, nah, I'm not doing that. Mm-mm. Nope. I had one marriage where I went half, and we went half on the bills. My second marriage, I ain't have to work. Like, no, I'm not paying for shit. No.
If that situation had happened to you, how would you have handled it?
I would have paid for it, and then he wouldn't have talked to me no damn more. You ain't even got to see me no more. You ain't got to speak to me. You don't have to none of that because we don't got shit to talk about. Because where your head is at and where my head is at is in two totally different places.
Right.
What you want to give and what my expectations are we're not even meeting. We're not even vibrating on the same frequency. So there's no reason for us to even talk no more. But I think that's also why I haven't run into that type of experience, because where I'm vibrating at and the people that I'm attracting, they ain't stepping to me with no going no Dutch. They just not. That's not what I'm looking for. That's not the energy that I put out there. I don't even put out that shit would be okay. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't attract them type of people. Now I will also say I'm in more than likely a long-term relationship, so I'm not doing a whole hell of a lot of dating. But the dating that I've done, and when they step to me to ask me out, I've never had nobody ask me to pay Dutch. And I don't, and even what Preezy said, if somebody was short, I don't have a problem giving in. I don't have a problem being to help me. I've been married, all of that. I don't have a problem doing that. I don't have a problem being able to pay, but you expecting me to pay is another thing. What I'm willing to do and with the expectation that you put on me. Nah, you can't be taking me out expecting me to pay. You cannot ask me to go out and do not have enough money to cover what it is that you're asking me to do. Not if you're expecting, not if you're courting me, not if you're pursuing me, not if you're trying to be anything with me. Nah. Now, if one of my homeboys was like, yo, we going to get out something to eat, I ain't expecting to pay with like that either. I wouldn't. But especially not if you taking me on a date and you're pursuing me. Hell no. I got grown kids. My grown sons better not take nobody out and expect them to pay, because that's not how I raised them. So you know what I'm saying? So I'm not expecting nobody to do less to me than what I didn't expect of my children. And my children are grown.
All right.
So you know what I mean? So ain't nobody. I'm not paying for no dinner that nobody didn't ask me to go out on to no damn date for. Nah.
All right. So sounds like the cutoff game is strong with all three of you guys. Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I say, may the Lord watch. In a heartbeat. Bless you, may the Lord watch me indeed.
All right, let's move to the next story. This is a different kind of cutoff game. This is the Leave It or Medicated part of the show. Leave it if you agree with what the story is talking about. Medicate if you disagree with it. Let's set the premise going forward. In a couple of days ago at a Planet Fitness in Alaska, it appears to be. I'm put up here, Planet Penis, no gender zone.
Red that says penis.
Yes, I
don't
know.
know if you knew that or not. Okay, you know that. All right.
Oh yeah, I did that. If you can see,
okay.
I did all that. That's all my graphic work. Thank you for pointing that out.
I think it's supposed to be Planet Fitness, but
no. In this case, it is Planet Penis because there was a guy in a Planet Fitness bathroom. It was a female's bathroom, and a woman went in there and started recording him while he was shaving, in order to shame him. And she posted it on Facebook. And Planet Fitness ended up canceling her membership right afterwards. And she is crying about her having her membership canceled, and people are saying she's either in the right or the wrong with it. The Leave It or Medicated is, do you agree with her trying to shame him by recording him shaving in the women's bathroom, she was saying that he was encroaching on a female's bathroom, that children go in here, and of course adult women. Do you think she is wrong for how she reacted to this, and should they have canceled her membership? Based off that, we're going to put the 2-minute clock up here, and we're going to have people give their initial statement. Aisha, do you agree with it, leave it, or disagree with it, medicate it? Leave it if you agree with how she handled it, disagree, medicate it, and you tell us why. First, tell us, do you
I
leave it
fully
or
agree.
medicate?
I fully agree. I fully agree to
All
leave
right.
it because the whole backstory of
Hold on,
that
hold on,
is.
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. We put a clock up here.
Oh yeah, okay, go for it.
We put
Yeah.
2 minute clock up here, and then we'll let everybody go first, and then it's a free for all. So let me pop the clock up here right quick. Oop.
Ready? Go!
So I fully agree. The reason being, I know the whole backstory to that versus what some of the media is putting out. The backstory is the lady had come in from exercising. She went to go change in the women's bathroom. The grown behind gentleman was there, but he was also there with a minor child, another female in the bathroom. Let's put, for instance, say our children that of age are going to change in that bathroom. And this grown man who quote unquote identifies as something else didn't feel secure enough to go to the other men, but yet you're going to put other women in a situation where they don't feel secure. Um, you're still a man. I mean, I understand y'all are sensitive, and I say y'all, but if I can't identify as Chinese or white, you can't identify as another sex. What it is, you don't like what you're in. It is what it is, and I respect that. That's how you feel, but you can't put me or my child in a situation that is more uncomfortable because of the way your mindset is right now. Until they have a family bathroom, you don't go in the female bathroom. Until you had your sex change, you don't go in the female bathroom. You're still a dude. For all I know, you could be pretending to be that way to even get your likes on. That's not okay. I don't feel okay with that. I don't feel safe with that. So the reason why she complained is because she took a picture to show them that this guy was in here in case he left. And she went and she complained and they kicked her out because the gender equality situation. But this is a grown behind man shaving. This ain't, I mean, this man is in there using the bathroom like any other man in the women's bathroom. At this point, you're grown enough and man enough to go use the men's bathroom. I don't know why you're nervous, but this 8-year-old child that was in there at the moment was a little nervous. So I agree with her.
Okay, good with that. All right, Tim, you can go next. First, do you want to leave it? You agree with it, or medicate it? You disagree with how she handled that situation?
No, I agree.
You agree? Okay,
Yeah.
he'll leave it.
Are you ready? Go!
I feel like they need to just go ahead for public restaurants and all these other locations and whatnot. They need to have about 4 bathrooms. 2 for regular males and females, and then 2 for ABCDEFG males and ABCDEFG females. Because before I left my job working at the distribution center, I had a situation where a female male want to come in the bathroom, and then, I'm not used to, what I'm saying, seeing that going to, I ain't gonna lie, that's an uncomfortable situation. And she got glue beard and want to look at me standing up at the stall. What's up, bro? That is, nah. So you talking about a child, in the same way, that is a real uncomfortable situation. So nah, and there's no right or wrong how she did that, because like he need to feel like an idiot, what I'm saying, getting tape and film with her phone, because like it's this junk. This, God bless the society, boy. That's just crazy. And yeah, man. I'm getting flabbergasted, if I can use that word, just even thinking about this. Nah, but that's how I feel. They need Planet Fitness. Is that all the US? Are they allowing all genders? Because I ain't know that. Well, that's just Alaska.
I don't know.
Oh, well, I say in the future they need to go ahead and just make 4 bathrooms. And I mean that's how the route they're going, because this is crazy. Like, especially when you talking about children, that's the last thing you need to be like trying to disrupt. Like, give the kids an opportunity to know. And I ain't trying to offend nobody saying this, but I'm just keeping it real. What normal is and what not normal is. You know what I'm saying? Because they come out the womb the gender that they are, and you get a certain age and you can go grown adult. Hey, do whatever you want, but leave the kids alone.
All right. LT, do you want to leave it or medicate it?
What is this a white lady?
Yeah.
Okay. She's wrong.
She's
I
wrong. You
don't
want
care.
to medicate?
I don't. Yeah, I don't care. She's wrong.
All right, tell us why you want to medicate.
Are you ready? Go!
She's not wrong, but I just don't like
Really, nigga?
The hell?
I mean, I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's weird to walk into the bathroom and see a whole different set of genitals in there than it's supposed to be. I hate when people use kids because like kids also be in the men's bathroom too. Like if you're a man and you have kids, you take them to or we should have family bathrooms, and I guess like Tim said, we should add an extra bathroom. But I feel like members of the alphabet community certain members of the alphabet community don't want to be singled out with their own individual bathroom, even though that would just like that episode of South Park, that would make everything so much easier. And you primarily only see this with trans women that want to be acknowledged as full women or non-binary men that still kind of want to fall into that feminine aspect and use the women's bathroom. I don't know if it's a kink. I don't know. I don't frequent Planet Fitness. I think the white lady is wrong because the way we use our phones as a weapon to record and expose versus just calling the police if you truly feel like he is invading something, if he is offending you, call the police. But just like the couple that, or I don't even know if they were a couple, just like the video we were watching, a sane adult just pays for the dinner and moves on with their life. A insecure clout chasing child pulls out their phone, records it, and says, look at what's happening. This is what's happening. Like we literally use our phones as weapons. I hate that. So she's wrong for that. Because if it was literally an innocent situation of this non-binary, whatever alphabet person trying to use the bath, can you shave in Planet Fitness? This is burn it all down. I don't know. Like shit. Invest in a Peloton.
All right. Preezy, do you agree or disagree with what that lady did to the trans woman at Planet Fitness? Leave it or medicate it?
It's a catch-22. I'm gonna say I agree somewhat.
Okay.
Are you ready? Go!
I agree with Lord Trent. With the phones now, everybody putting things up on there. I don't know if I would have did that. Taking his picture and stuff like that. But she wasn't wrong. If you read, Planet Fitness lost $400 million in value
That's
because
all.
banned her from coming to Planet Fitness. We do need those bathrooms. I think that's totally wrong that, this transgender is in there in the female's bathroom and, you shaving and stuff like that. This is a lot. It's a lot. And, I'm not knocking nobody, whatever. You just got to deal with that within yourself. But I would not want to go into a bathroom with my child and there's this man in there shaving. Listen, at the end of the day, you may feel that you are a woman, but you are a man at the end of the day. And I'm not knocking nobody, but they really need to make a bath. They need to have a transgender bathroom. You need to have a male, female, and transgender bathroom along with the family bathroom. But if y'all allowing this and y'all accepting this, then y'all have to take other measures to make everybody comfortable. And I think that the only way you're gonna make somebody comfortable is that you gotta separate it. You gotta they need to have their own bathroom. It's not fair. I think they should have their own sports. I don't think that men should be in transgender men or transgender women should be playing in regular sports. That's not fair. But this is bad. It's really bad. The only thing is, she had to prove a point because she probably figured if I go to the counselor and tell them, they're just gonna brush it off. So she had to put it out there on social media. I mean, I don't know if I would have put his picture. I don't think she should have took his picture and posted him. But yeah, she made noise and look what happened. So sometimes you gotta make noise to let people see what's going on, in the world. I just don't think that she should have posted his picture.
Okay. See, Sparky, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Did you want to leave it or medicated?
I'm gonna leave it.
All right, she's gonna leave it. Make sure the time's up here. Tell us why.
Are you ready? Go!
Because no man got no business being in no women's bathroom shaving their nuts. Like, you ain't got no business doing it. You still got nuts, you a man. You know what I'm saying? I respect everybody's, they are what they want to be and all the different things that are going on. But to be in the bathroom in an open area, because clearly she could see you, so you probably in there in the middle of the mirror, wherever, trying to shave. And to me, I feel like you was doing something wrong because that was the bathroom you chose to go in to do it. You didn't choose to go in the man's bathroom and get up on the counter or get in the mirror or do anything like that and shave your genital area. You did it in the women's bathroom because to me, you feel like it wasn't going to be, as much of an issue or as much backlash. Or you felt like do it over there as opposed to the men's bathroom. But why not just do it at home? Everybody is going in the uproar about she should have respected him and not posted him online. And I don't know that I would have posted him online, but I don't know that I wouldn't have either. So, like, would that have been my granddaughter in there or something like that? To cut that corner and see him in there, I'm recording. It's all over the place probably. So I could see the outrageousness and, just being outraged and recording. I also understand, trying to say that he has a right to privacy, but he should have thought about his privacy when he decided to be in a public place, shaving his public area. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to do that. He could have kept his private area in his private, and then he never would have put himself in a predicament where he could have been posted on Facebook, online, or anywhere else by anybody because he would have been in the privacy of his or her own home, however they identify. But you got to be respectful of other people. And then most times it just becomes a situation where people aren't respectful of other people, whether you like the same sex or a different sex or whatever. You still need to be respectful of other people. And it gets ridiculous because it's like there's a total lack of respect. It seems like when there's a same sex situation, we're all supposed to be so handcuffed by it that everything is just supposed to be so damn acceptable. And it's like, one, you got to know that you wrong for shaving your private areas in a public place like that, where, children, whether it's in the men's bathroom too, where children could be walking in. But at least if it was a little boy in the men's bathroom, seeing, some balls being shaved, it wouldn't be as, traumatic because he has those.
Wow.
Little girl seeing it, she don't have those. It's like, whoa, what is that?
I
At a
didn't know
young
he was
age.
shaving his balls. I thought he was shaving his face.
Well, I heard legs. I think that's what I
Yeah,
read.
it was legs and face. But here's the catch of that, y'all. She didn't just post the picture on social media. So that's where the misconception comes through. Like, I'm sorry. It's one of them where the only reason she posted his face is because when she complained to Planet Fitness, the only reason she took the pictures to prove to them in case he walked out that yes, there was a man in here shaving.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the only reason she posted his picture because they didn't listen to her and then they banned her.
That's what I figured.
She wasn't just outing him. It wasn't like, oh, I don't like him. I'm putting that's not how it happened.
Right. I figured that Planet Fitness probably wasn't going to do anything, so she had to get proof. I figured that. Yeah.
Exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened.
And she had every right to get proof.
Right. And here's another thing too. Why are you not? I used to go to Planet Fitness. There's stalls. Why are you not in the stall? Why are you not doing this on your own? Why are you doing this in front of people? You don't need a mirror to shave your legs. I'm just letting.
Yeah. Let me just say this, Sparky T.
Yes.
We don't want to see him on the counter shaving his balls either. It's traumatic. You say the kid or adult. Why? I don't even know why he's on the counter anyway. I mean, I don't think any men should be getting on the counter shaving their balls, but to each is his own. I don't know people's technique or how they do it, but you shouldn't be on there. But let me speak to some of you guys' remedy. I don't think a trans bathroom is a good thing for two reasons. Yeah, it would give them their own bathroom to go to, and we wouldn't have to worry about this type of situation. But here's where the couple problems lie in. They don't want to be separate from women. They consider themselves women. And that's going to be an issue. That's the same reason why if they were to have trans sports, they would be calling you a bigot for that too. It's like, no, we don't want to be trans women. We want to consider ourselves women. We want to compete with you.
They wouldn't pour money into transgender. I'm sorry.
They would. But the other problem with that would be is then you're also feeding into the delusion that they're trans women. That would be the other problem.
That's the problem. We literally walk on eggshells now because of them. Like everybody has made the statement, I'm not against it. Why? Because if we say anything, we're the ones shadow banned for the simple fact that we were raised, there's male, there's female. If you want to be something different, do that. But you hadn't changed your sex yet.
I want to
so
be
you still go to the men's bathroom. And if you can't change your sex, maybe you can't afford to think this way. And I know that sounds bad, right? But what do studs do? Studs take the hell out of their titties, right? They look like a man. They know they can't.
Some studs walk around with their dildo strapped to them.
Huh?
So some studs walk around with their dildo strapped to them.
And that's that mental condition. And I know that sounds bad. Yes, they like you. You like who you like sexually, cool. But you saying that God misplaced who they are. How about you just say, "Oh, I'm a man that like other men, and I like being feminine with it." There's a difference between saying, "Oh, well, God put me in the wrong body, so I'm gonna cut this off."
See,
now
you're
forcing me.
Tim, pull out your Bible, because I swear to God, somewhere in that shit it said he don't make mistakes or some shit.
Exactly.
So it's like how the fuck are I just
it's a slap in the face for
I
God.
can't say nothing about it because I don't possess a vagina. So I immediately when a man says something about a LGBTQ RSTUV or a non-binary past, like when we say it, we immediately sound aggressive, we sound hateful, we sound closed-minded to it. But that's also because you don't see trans women that have taken the operation to become men yelling, "Nah, you got to respect me as a man, dog."
Exactly.
Because it's not with men. We solve things 1 or 2. We literally invented the Olympics based upon let's get naked and wrestle. So it's gonna come down to the good hands. And even if I don't give a fuck what surgeon you flew to get your abs and to get your beard placed in, you're never going to be able to match my actual testosterone driven body as a man. For the trans woman, they have an easier time lobbying against women. And I will say, because not because of I will say this, not because of black women, but because white women, we're so submissive and we're saying, no, we accept them. They are women too. They are women too. And white women gave them access to being able to call themselves women without knowing that was going to give them access to the bathroom.
Karen.
Or anything. Because if you think about it, men, you're right. Men are very aggressive with it. I don't know if it's just I'm a man wanting to be a woman, hear me roar type shit. I don't know what that is. And I say that respectfully, disrespectfully, all at the same damn time, because men have changed the label of natural female woman to a cis woman. The transgender don't call women who are birthed with a coochie just a woman. You're called a cis woman.
Mm-hmm.
But yet I gotta respect you for the pronoun that you came up with.
That they don't even want anymore. Because
Exactly.
it's almost like they're trying to move women out of being called women and calling you all cis women.
Exactly.
And they just want to be considered women.
That's literally verbatim. That's exactly what it is. To them, they're women, and they call themselves trans women. But the reality is, they want to be called women. They're faking periods and everything in between. But they call us cis women because we're not real relevant women anymore. We're the different ones. They're the real ones.
What's the cis?
Look it up. It's called a cis woman. That's what a real woman's supposed to be now.
A woman that can birth a child versus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because and their mindset is usually, well, what about the women who can't birth children? What about women that are infertile? It's like, why do you have to? That's kind of punching down in the way, to quote my boy Chappelle. Like, why do you have to put yourself on the level of a woman that already probably feels different and ostracized from other women because she can't do something that
Facts.
is particular to her genetics, just to try to validate your own manufactured genetics?
And she may not be able to have kids, but I bet she still has a period. I bet her titties still get sore around a certain time of month. The simple fact of men sitting there saying that, and if a man can't get his penis hard, he's still a man, right? Right?
It's
He's still
called
a
a
man.
disease. It's the
Right.
when
Then
you
it's a
look
disease. But
when you
if you
see a
can't have
woman that can't,
and there's men who can't produce children too. They're
right,
still
and it's
men.
called a disease. But when you see a guy that is trying to be a trans woman, it's like, well, I can't have a baby because it's not you're not supposed to. It's not a
Exactly.
disease.
That's
You
my
don't.
point.
You got a
Exactly. That's
recreational
my
pussy.
point.
You
So you
spent
get
like
mad. You get mad
$1,000.
because you can't use that as a point. Let's put like you can't use it as a valid point because some women can't have kids. That's not a valid point. That's just you copping out and trying to use that as an excuse. There was a video I posted on my page, and the video stopped and asked people, "Hey, can I identify as a white person?" And the response was clearly, "No, you can't." And it was like, "Why not?" Well, because you were born a certain way, you can't just change that. They said, but you can change your sex. It's different.
Yeah, it's different.
What's the difference?
It's not part of the LGBTQ community yet.
They are really pushing
One day,
a narrative, and people are falling for it because people don't want to either they don't want to be outed
Mhm.
for their own gayness, or they're scared they're going to lose financial compensation. Period. That's the only reason people are falling for it. Because why? Literally, everyone responded with the same response. I ain't got nothing against it. That's the
All rich
eggshell
people gay.
response. But it's the
yeah.
eggshell,
All rich
but
people a little
but
gay.
we all understand we have to say that, else it's a possibility that later on it can come back to us.
Did they create this cancel culture? Or,
Absolutely.
yeah, okay.
They got good advertising. LGBT got the great marketing because they have
Facts.
surpassed the NAACP and civil rights. What took them 50 years or so to get done, they got done in like a matter of less than 2 decades.
They can
Because
make
they got
money.
wealthy. They focused on getting wealthy. They invested in their community. Gay people led the gentrifying of a lot of neighborhood. Like back when I was staying in New Jersey for a little bit, like in Asbury Park, it's so crazy. You could literally see on one side of the street Jewish bakeries, gay bakeries, little gay flags outside of their stores and their homes, and they're just so happy and walking. And literally on the other side of the street, it's paraplegic bums, heroin addicts, like they have led the way in gentrifying neighborhoods and making places more inhabitable for them and their community, and they're active in the politics within their community. So they've been able to surpass the our civil rights movement because literally they gave Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton some chances to be on TV. They gave them some guest speaking appearances. Them motherfuckers gave up. They gave up on trying to push black people forward in any meaningful way. Gay people not only got involved in politics and the city planning, they're very heavily involved in entertainment.
They
And more
smart.
of
Oh,
them
yeah.
just became
They smart.
comfortable over time coming out. It started with
But
women. It started with I kissed a girl and I like that shit. You know what
mhm.
I'm saying? It became more and more. Even Nicki Minaj was out here playing bisexual with Rihanna and shit. Like we were out
Yeah.
here, you know what I'm
I
saying, kind of
nah, because
selling. So go
nah, I have to disagree. And the reason why I said it because you got to realize the whole quote unquote we're gonna say butch era happened years and years back. And it is what it is because we called it butches and called it a day, right? This movement didn't start till men in high places decided to come out. They had money, they had control, and the more they normalized this, the easier it was for them to come out. Or even if they didn't come out, they got caught. Oh well, it's 2024. If that's how you feel, that's who you love. That's who you love. These are men in high places that are controlling everything. The reason why they fought for equal rights of money and blah blah blah, because there was butchers out there that wanted to be a man and make the money that men make. But you got in reality, the ones who changed all this stuff are our leaders. You said they're in politics and stuff, right? How many there's females in politics, but there's not that many you can name off the top of your head that's making these decisions.
Right.
There's
There's
not
people
many women of
over there.
color, there's not many
Right.
young women,
Exactly.
and there's not many women that actually come from the kind of environments that they claim to want to affect change in. And that's across the board with any politician.
Fact.
And what I will say about them is just like Hollywood, a lot of them are closet homosexuals.
Exactly, and that's why they're getting away with it because they're the ones that voting the yes. Oh well, I support my son. No, the reality is you're as gay as your son is, and the only way for you to acknowledge that is for you to give him $100 million to go with his proceeds to protect the gays. And while you're paying for a prostitute on the low, and 9 times out of 10 that prostitute is a male. Let's ask the men in Atlanta who are actually making the money off of these people. There's other places, but Atlanta's really good for that.
Yeah,
And
being
they
in that
spill the
type of
beans a lot,
situation,
huh?
I was about to say, being in this type of situation, it really is the same thing like weed and alcohol. It's all about how can we make money from it? Because let me explain it right quick. Anorexia is essentially the same thing as somebody who has gender dysphoria. Anorexia, people think they're fat. They could be 80 pounds. In their mind, they think they're fat. No one feeds into the mental disease that, hey, you're really fat, so you should keep on working out and keep starving yourself. No, they send them to a mental institution, give them medication and therapy, and say, you're not really fat.
Right.
You are dangerously skinny. You need to get help. Why I
Because
say
we live in
this,
a society that cares more about. I'm sorry, go ahead.
hold on. Where I compare this to weed and alcohol, same thing with trans people. They figured out how to make money off of this. If they could make money off of anorexia, anorexia would have been the same thing. People would have been telling people with anorexia that they're fat, and they would have been made money off of this. And people in Hollywood, left and right, would be okay with anorexia, except for those skinny models from the 1990s that we don't have as much in like we used to. Lizzo has, so it has taken their place. But if they could make money off of anorexia type women, anorexia would not even be a mental disease anymore. It's how they make money off of the disease, and now no longer is a disease. It is gender dysphoria, but people don't want to call it a disease anymore.
Well,
We live in
it's a mental disorder. It's fully a mental disorder because your mind is made up in this certain way. But if your mind is made up and the majority of the society is not agreeing with, oh, you have multiple personalities, and that tells that person, okay, this person's schizophrenic, bipolar, whatever, they have a mental disorder. The reality is if you're not accepting who you are internally, you still have a mental disorder, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
You have a mental disorder. The only difference is there's so many of them out there like that. They're trying to normalize it.
Yeah.
Look at.
Unfortunately, the ones that are doing it are the ones with money.
Same thing with old girl Rachel Dolezal. She thinks she black, but why does no one accept her? The kid, because they haven't monetized it yet. They haven't found a way to make money off of that. Nobody wants to be black anyway, except for black.
It didn't even. I agree a bit with the money, but it's not really the money because these people already have money. They want to keep their money.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Look how Dwayne Wade advertising his son.
Look how Dwayne Wade just is. I'm sorry, like Dwayne Wade.
Yeah.
And I don't even want to call him.
I'm waiting for that family to have a discussion. Say, well, yeah, we're all non-binary genders.
He's advertising.
I'm waiting for that family.
You know, Gabrielle Union did admit, and this is where, like, again, the boundaries in a relationship really need to be discussed, or I just need to stop paying attention to other people's relationships. Because I remember she was on somebody's podcast talking about, yeah, Dwayne lets me play in his booty hole.
That's crazy.
And it's like, if that's what he likes, that's what he likes. Because that's his woman. She can do that for him. That's what he's into in the privacy of their bedroom. I don't know, why did you, but she just told everybody that. And I feel like that spills over into why because one, this isn't even Gabrielle Union's son that I remember that award show where she gave people she cursed everybody out for not being accepting towards little trans kids and shit. Like at the NAACP award, she was really mad because the black community was so apprehensive. Towards being. I was like, okay, where the fuck was all this energy at, Eva? Like, because I really didn't understand why was that gonna be her thing? Like, why is this their thing? And I get it. Dwayne Wade is not winning championships. He's not putting up those numbers on the team like you. Oh shit! Now you retired. You injured all the damn time. You can't even get on ESPN and talk with Shaq and Skip, old dumbass. You know what I'm saying? You can't even get money that way. And let's be honest, Gabrielle Union isn't a bankable Hollywood starlet anymore. Especially with black women in Hollywood, they love to push them out of the spotlight once they get past a certain age. Like unless you're young and unless you're trying to get naked still and be out here busting it wide the fuck open, just like Taraji said, they not trying to pay you, not for real. So you got to make your thing everything else. And what our celebrities have done have taken to politically becoming polarizing political figures. Kanye West with a White Lives Matter shirt and MAGA hats, fucking Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade leading this charge for transgenderness in our children. And
Sad.
who else is Diddy out here raping everybody still.
But these, I think that's just
Allegedly.
their. I think that's just them actually projecting who they really are, and they have the finances to do it. Because think
Yeah.
about it, you're saying Gabrielle Union is pro Dwayne Wade's kid. That's not even her kid, but you also said that she's pegging her husband. So low key, like you feel like you're a man inside. And so because of that, you're projecting it on the child and you're allowing this child to do something that you couldn't do as a child. But now you have the money. Who's going to stop you? Who's going to check you? Just like
Right.
P. Diddy doing everything he wants to. Why? Because who's going to check him? Kanye thought he could till he started losing fans. And
Yeah,
it
money
was like,
too.
he still got fans. He definitely still got fans. But the reality is the ones that brought him where he is are the
Yeah.
ones looking at him like, nigga, what the fuck?
When the Adidas cut that check too.
He was
And they
very
went
quickly the richest man on the planet, and then
Mhm.
literally
the
was not.
brokest. Right. Because the reality is you got to realize that once you made a certain amount of money, then you don't have to put up the fronts that you did from the beginning.
hmm
You don't have to be you don't have to say, well, excuse me, and I ain't against nobody. You say what the hell you want to say because who's gonna check you? Look at
Yeah.
Will and Jada. They do what they want to do, and they don't care what the audience say. They got their whole plans together, blah blah blah, because they got the money. And if the narrative of being gay is pushed in common, then what's the worst that can be said about them?
I think they still keep it under wraps because even though the majority of Hollywood is gay and they do have the money to live out however they want
Mhm.
to live, they know that 85 because they're the 1%. They know that the 85% of the world that makes them the wealthy elite isn't as accepting of. So that's
That
why
takes
they
my
still like
exposure.
They're
because
not.
all
They
of these
weren't, but they're making the agenda, so they will be accepting of them.
Yeah.
they're making the agenda that way now, but particularly for our celebrities, that's why they're so mad at us for being so apprehensive to it. Because how long have we been hearing rumors about Will Smith and Dwayne Martin
Absolutely,
being gay?
absolutely.
Oh
But
man.
we're not.
But
We don't. The black community's response to that is never, "Well, y'all go ahead and be gay together. Good for
nope.
y'all."
That's because also our country has been built. We were started on a Christian belief. So if you go back to the Bible says nothing about lesbians. Let's just be real. Let's talk. I can quote scriptures for that. It says nothing about the female. It actually talks about the male acting as a female. So with that being the number one problem, and that being something that you pushed in your country from day one, whether you want us in your country or not, you pushed it in your country from day one, then how do you fix it? The only way to fix it is make it look normal to everybody else. So yeah, you couldn't come to a black community who was Bible bred, thumped and everything, and raised in the church and say, I'm a sissy. We can call you a sissy, that's just how you act, but you're not gonna be like, well, I feel like I used to be a man back in my other life, so I need to be a man. We don't accept that because we weren't raised like that. So that blockage is there. But what do now? You change the agenda. So now you market to the children because the children are the ones that are going to make decision. And now if everybody in childhood is like, it's normal, then it's never going to be a problem, right? So it just goes back to square one is you're being rebellious from what you taught us from the beginning. And when we pushed against it and you feel like, oh, well, I do like boys or whatever, you want us to just accept it and we don't. So what you do, you have the money, you change it how you want to change it, which means you make a movement about it. You involve kids who make the decisions for our future. And like you said, when you get a certain age, especially as a black woman, how they just ignore, we just replace them with females who don't mind doing it.
Yeah. And sadly, ironically, too, the feminist movement is a big cause why a lot of this stuff is happening now.
Mm.
Because
The Black
men
Lives
are,
Matter.
well, yeah, that too. That's a good point.
Feminists
Men are
want
told to
to
shut
back
up whenever we
white
have,
woman.
we want to talk about our feelings and we want to voice our opinion about something. Don't speak on female matters. Okay, fine. Then when the men say, hey, I want to be a woman, accept that person as a woman. Hey, I don't think
Here's the
he's
problem.
posing as a woman, but he's not a woman. Shut up. You stay out female issues. All right, we'll be quiet and we'll move slowly to the side
And the
and we'll
problem
let
with
you
that,
women have it. And now it's hurting women now. And now
no,
it's
the problem is that you're
devaluing women
taking two different sides and putting them in the same bowl. The women are saying that are not the women that's been raised in the church and saying no men and women, because the women are saying that need their men to lead. We don't tell them to shut up. We listen. We just ask that you don't do us dirty and then go to the opposite, unfortunately, race or whatever it is, or sex or whatever it is. But those who are making that statement, it's like the negatives are the only ones that are being heard. But when we're still trying to stick to our demand as the leader of the house, we're old school.
Yeah, because
That's
but
right.
you
A
can't
lot of
do it
white
both ways.
women
Though.
who
You
are in
can't
control
say
of
don't be a man and then be a man at the same time. That's
That's what
why
I'm saying.
we're
But
complaining
we
about.
we weren't the ones saying that. The ones that
Who?
were being heard were the ones that say don't be a man, because those are the, let's go back to the butches. Let's go back to the ones who felt that way the entire time. So it's those
white women.
females who didn't want to be females that made their voice and opinion towards males. But when it comes to the other females who want to be a female, who want to be a stay-at-home helpmate, who wants to be the caretaker of your children without the extra bullshit, because there's situations where women get put in bullshit. I get it. But outside of that, we're not the ones that saying, well, don't speak. No, I want my man to lead.
This is coming from white women who
I
are
don't know about
tired of
that.
being the ones sitting at home. White women want to take
Exactly.
over the position that the
Exactly.
white man has in this world.
It
That's
goes back
why
to the
white
butches.
women want men that are, it would be cool if, you wore your hair in a up bun or something. Like white women want to take over in that sense. That's what feminism was. We say it multiple times on this show. They didn't want to allow, I always forget, Sojourner Truth? They didn't want to allow her to speak because her rights to them were the rights of a black woman, and they did not want to confuse that with the rights of quote unquote women. Sound
Right.
kind of the same as trans women no longer wanting to be, we don't want to confuse women's rights with cis women's rights. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to get our rights as women, and your rights as cis women are over there in the 60s and 70s with Gloria Steinem and all that shit. Like they're literally, and white women sign this document because again, there's still more older white women in positions of political power. Hillary Clinton was damn near the fucking president. Jen and Reno was out here for a long goddamn time. Fucking Nancy Pelosi, even down to the AOC. I actually enjoy her, but I don't trust a Democrat or a Republican. I think I'm moving to the Socialist Party in 2024. But yeah, white women have lobbied very hard to
Absolutely.
become in positions of power in this society. Black women have never had the luxury of being these stay-at-home mothers. They've never had the luxury of I'm just going to let my man handle
Never.
everything.
That
Not
never.
not to the
Nah,
extent
that's
that a
how you
white
never
woman
heard.
has.
No.
You know what I'm
No,
saying? Not
I
to the
get what you're saying, and I'm
like
gonna
the
cut you
white
off and say
privilege.
that because I'm agreeing with you. But let me, before I forget this point, let's remember that whole women's right movement was made before we as black people even had a choice to even make a vote, whether male or female.
That I agree with.
So with that being said, who made the decisions?
You could say white women. You could
Now,
say
I've been
white
saying that.
women
They're evil.
turned what was supposed to be your movement, black women's movement, into their movement.
and they
Like just like they did
coerced
with
how it went, because
yeah.
reality is, like you said, a lot of black women didn't have that option to be a stay-at-home mom. We still worked as maids or whatever, and what we were happy with not having to take the full responsibility at home, because even when back in the day when we didn't as black people have anything, that man still worked whatever job to take care of how many children. There were
We have a
still
lot of
white
kids.
women at home fighting about they're not happy where they're at, honestly, probably because they were bored.
Yeah.
Usually.
I mean,
It is,
what else? Because you got the black nanny, you got the black maid. Oh, because you can't go shopping because you didn't make no money. Oh, now you want to make the same money your husband makes while he's out. But now you don't want to hear him because your girl Susie made cocktails and y'all play with each other, and now you want your own thing.
Desperate Housewives, Sex in the City, all these things. Like even on Abbott Elementary, like the old white lady teacher, they love letting her be loose and fallacious, but it's like, ma'am, you're old, you're like 50 or 60 years old, you're white, so you don't age that well, and you're literally meeting great men that want to love you for who you are, but they play it up like, oh, it's empowering that she doesn't let a man tie her down, bitch. Like,
No,
like
I literally haven't said
That
about that. I
narrative is
haven't
out
said
there.
on stage about that. Like, I was not there when they voted, so I think we need a revote. I want to stay at home. If you need me to stay at home all day and suck your thing, let me go. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have a collard green sandwich fixed for you. I'm gonna put your meat in your mouth when I get home. It is what it is. Like, what I didn't do was get out there and vote with the PE coaches from the '80s. I didn't do that shit. Like I don't
Yeah, white
mind being
women want to
called.
be in charge because they're the people. Their men suck. You know what I'm
There
saying?
was a
And I get
movement,
like I
though.
was watching the
There was
Nickelodeon
a movement.
documentary. And it was so many angry white women that they stayed there. They stayed it and worked on these shows. And they said, "Oh my God, he was so terrible. He would make me do this. He would make me act like I'm sodomizing myself as I told stories to the rest of the writing staff." And I didn't want to be a person that couldn't take a joke. So I just stayed there and I took it. And I still didn't even get the job. So it's like, so you knew he was terrible. He was doing all of this terrible shit to you, but you didn't say nothing about it until you were fired. Like, how do you stay that long in a position that you know that you hate, but you're only saying something about it now because you didn't get what you wanted?
That sounds
Now
like a
you're trying to
marriage.
take his power.
That sounds like a marriage because that's what happened in marriages. They just deal with shit until they just
Yeah,
can't deal
but
with no more. However, I mean, it's not hard to get sodomized by a man whose penis is this big. But I guarantee if it was black men, they would have caught. Let me shut up.
Oh no, he wasn't
there was
sodomizing them.
a
Like he
movement, though,
literally
at
just
that
said,
time. There was a movement, though. I get you can say white women started that, and I'll agree with that.
they did it. They're
But
evil.
they looked at that and see how portrayed happy that white women were being independent or being able to go out into the workforce, even though it might have been a minute amount of white women that were saying that. But in these magazines like Cosmopolitan and stuff, they were saying how happy we were to go work in the workforce, and we don't have to have a guy lead. We can lead ourselves. Black women saw this at some point and started to follow that. Because at one point, there were black women who were able to be at home, because black women in the 50s and 40s, and we can even go up into the 60s, had a high marriage rate. And they had a high workforce rate for the husbands. They were going to work and they were making great money. Their economic development was higher than white people and any other race at one point. And then some point,
But what we got to acknowledge is in that
they
time
were.
frame, like even though our marriage rate was higher, we were experiencing the most, or not the most, because slavery happened, but we were still
Hell,
experiencing incredible amounts of trauma on the
right.
black man that
That's
was
even more
working
the
all
point.
day at the
That
coal
proves my
mine.
point even more.
It
Because
doesn't prove your
if
point anymore
all that stuff was happening and we were still together, then
because at that point, who
slavery
else
had
do you
nothing
run
to do
to?
with dividing us
No,
or
because
separating.
at that point, who do you run to? Because your helpmate is in your home. You can't complain to the white people that's doing this to you. The only person you have around is you and your wife. At the time, there's no social media. There's no phones back then.
Yeah.
And
There's no
everybody that you
therapy
did
for
talk
the
to
black
was Bible
man.
bread, and they said, "What? Pray about it," right? So you didn't
And
Mm-hmm.
we
have the
couldn't
option to
divorce.
get up and
Back in
leave.
these days, black people, marriages, you didn't divorce. That's
Facts.
again back to the Bible. They don't up there. It's not too kind on divorce. Once you make that
Right.
that covenant in front of God, you know what I'm saying? They're not too
With,
kind on it.
with
So
all
we
the things
stayed
that we
with
were
each
going
other.
to, we had way more reason to be divorced and divided as a people during that time, and we
We
still were staying
But
together.
because of how
No, because
religious
it
and
wasn't. No, we were against them, not us. That's the difference back then. We were against them. We didn't have
We
anything
still
back then
are.
to say. We're definitely against each other now, but now we have social media to team up against each other. And now, actually,
Mhm.
sadly enough, we're the only ones against each other because
now that we all have
I don't
TVs in
see,
our home, like
I
we
don't see
literally
white
let
people
white
having
men
that. I
inside
don't
of
see
our
them
home.
having the conversations we have on a regular. I don't ever see white
You're
people
right.
here
You're
doing the
exactly
old
right.
50. They talk about different things. Why their problems are different. Why is that? Like you said, the survey was that women were happier when they're on their own. Of course, they were white women. Why? Because you're making your money so you can go shopping. We're making our money so we can pay this light bill. There's a difference between you and I. You're already stress free. We're not. So your extra money actually benefits you. Our extra money is saving our lives. That is the difference.
So
So
why
that's
would
why
you
they were
separate?
happier when that happened. Huh?
But why would they separate though? That gives even more reason why they should have stayed together and not
What you mean?
separate.
Because also
If
same
black women
magazines
were
from
paying to survive,
Cosmopolitan come
then
out in the
that gives
70s.
more reason why they should stay together, not separate.
Because
No,
these same
who's
magazines that you
separating though?
reference come out in the
Divorce. No,
70s and
I'm saying
80s,
as time
where
went
they're
along, the 70s and 80s, when divorce rates started going up, we separated more, and the black
because
family was broken
We didn't
apart.
Cosmopolitan
And
have
this
to
thing
then
listen,
though.
worked
It
than
wasn't that
it
much
because
did.
suffering
the
then.
media was
They were
One
telling
at
working.
a
us we
time.
were
One at a
doing that.
time. One at a time. We
Okay,
can.
I'm sorry. The media was telling us that's what was happening. Just back to Cosmopolitan. You saw on the cover of, like, Eddie Murphy was talking about it on Raw. So and so was on there talking about he lost half to his wife. You show that cover to the average woman sitting at home that is tired of her marriage. My husband, he makes all the money, but he comes home, he treats me like this. You mean I can get half of his shit? and just live like whatever the fuck, oh hell yeah, I'm about to divorce his ass. Then divorce the same way cosmopolitans sold black women or sold women on the idea of go out and get a job and feed to this bustling industry community or industrial system that America is building. We're also going to sell you on divorce because lawyers in the legal system is also a big way of which we make money in this company. Like the amount of which a lawyer gets paid is almost what you pay a professional athlete.
It's facts. But again, if we put them against each other, then we don't have to worry about anything because the dogs are gonna fight. And that's what you did when you did introduce the divorce. Yeah, like you said, it opened eyes and like, oh, so I can get all this if I leave him. But no, you can't, because what you're realizing is this man doesn't have what this white man has. He's not giving you're literally divorcing into nothing.
I agree.
And you're starting from scratch. So it's just like, no, it's back then, our social media was literally the television. So whatever the television and magazine said, that's what we went by. They sugarcoated it. They made it look good, just like they made Africa look terrible in certain places. Never showed a good part of Africa. They fed us what they wanted us to fall into. The same way they feed us with gender. They want us to fall into it. They want to make it normal. The reality is it's not normal.
Another reason why divorce skyrocket, because hey, if you get that man out of your house, we'll give you welfare. That happened in the 70s. We can't give it to you if you got a man there.
We're saying a bunch of the same things. Right.
Let
me try to return it where I think the conversation was trying to come from was why we see more of this happening today with trans people. And what I was trying to say really is because the guy is not in the home, because the guy is not leading, guys are not as accepting of people than women are. And I'm not saying that is a negative term for women. Women are will coddle more and nurture more than a guy will. A guy will fight for his position even more than a woman will. And I think because the guy is not there, and if the woman is raising the child, she's going to love him and accept that person more than the father would if he was in the home. You hear stories a lot of times where the mother will accept the child like that, and the father like, no, you got to get the hell out. I don't accept that. My religion don't accept it. My morals won't accept it. I think that's why you see more of these things happen. That's why part of the reason why you don't see trans women like that in male sports or in other spaces where men are than you do women. You see this happen. How many times do you ever see?
I'm gonna disagree with that. I'm gonna tell you why I disagree with that.
How many times do you ever see a trans woman go to a male sport like that? You don't. For a lot of reasons, but you don't see that happening at workplaces
You're right. It's trans woman,
either.
it's trans male. The reason why I have to disagree with you on that though, because it's not the young people coming out as much. They come out because that's what they think is normal. It's the older ones coming out. I think the reason why that is happening is because, again, a lot of people have these suppressed feelings they've been had and they couldn't express it. And now they're adults and they can make decisions on their own. They're doing that. They're expressing it now. Look at back in the 80s and 90s where what's her name? Terry wrote that book about her undercover. Right. And she wrote about her undercover. And after that, men just start coming out. And it's still not as accepted in the black community as it used to be. Well, it is still, but not as bad as it used to be, like a shun back in the day. But because of that, they couldn't do it. Now, white men have always been free to come out how they are. The only problem was they was sharing all these diseases in between. That was the only issue. So when they found out ways to prevent that, then it was okay for them. But when it comes to the black society, black community, the reason why I think a lot of it's feeling, these men have had these suppressed feelings forever. And a lot of them don't come out till after they're married. I have had 5 females within the past 3 months. I kid you not. All broke up with boyfriends because their boyfriends were undercover. And this is recent. These ain't little kids. This ain't just happening. These are men who are grown. These are men of your age. These are men who are able to speak their mind, but it wasn't accepted enough. Right. Because it wasn't accepted, they had to shut up. So now they're out instead of just being them and dating men and saying, hey, I'm a gay man who likes men. You're still hiding it in the black community and you're messing with the females, still messing with men, and you're bringing these and everything.
Who do you think they'll go tell first, the mother or the father?
As far as that they're out?
Yeah.
Well, 9 times out of 10, they're going to tell their mother. Why? Because the men in their family are supposed to be men, which accepts what men things do. However, sometimes they can't tell their dad because they don't know if their dad got mad because their dad was low-key gay and didn't want to say nothing.
Either way, that's unaccepting.
No, I get it. I get
That's
it.
why.
But
That's
then,
why I'm
but
saying
then
these
at
things
what
happen
point?
more. I think
But at what point do
part
we?
of it.
What
Part,
point will we stop accepting stuff? Because if we keep
yeah,
accepting
I
it, then
agree.
we're just right back on step one where we're worried about which bathroom they use. The
I agree.
reality is there's got to be someone in the home to say no,
I agree.
but that's not happening.
I agree, and I think what we're talking about, I agree. Part of it is I think there's, of course, two people are better than one. Two people standing with the same morals are better than one. When you have to have divisive household, and it's the same thing with you have a 2-parent household that's divided and you got a kid. They're going to ask mommy for certain things. They're going to ask dad for certain things because they know they can play both parts. In this situation, if they want to be trans or gay or whatever like that, and they know mother's going to be more accepting, they're going to go to her first. Instead of if it was in the same home and mother and dad talk about it and like, okay, we're going to be a united front. This is what we're not or what we are going to accept. It don't happen anymore, because especially in our community, because our community is shit now.
And it's because they planned very well to put us against each other, and that's exactly what we're doing. Because again, these conversations are not being had by white families.
Right.
They're not being had by Hispanic families. They're not being had by Asians. It's the black family, the black community having these discussions on podcasts. I can turn to any podcast and they talk about
their whole family in one home. The Spanish got the whole family in one home. So
right, they in one home, but at the same time, they talking about how Felipe do a
racist.
little, sissy. They don't talk about that. They accept Felipe. They accept, and I noticed I know it for a fact. I had my employee. I know it wasn't for a fact. They accept who they are, and their mental is: are we losing money from it? No, okay. Do you just don't bring it home? They set their boundaries. Some of them in Asia are still scared to come out like that, but the black community, we put our business out in the streets 24/7, and it's entertainment to them other people.
True. All right. We're going to wrap it up on that. We're at the 10 o'clock hour with the deepest thought. Let's see what this week's deepest thought is. Let's hit right quick.
You said the deepest throat? No. That's deep thought. Yeah, all right.
That was this week's deepest thought, and this is the end of Hostile Therapy with Big Red this week. I'd like to thank everybody who came on. Sparky T, she's at work, probably getting it in. Financially, let me make sure and say that right, because people gonna be thinking.
Oh yeah, cut the
so sorry about it.
You just listening to this, yeah. Make sure you tell what her profession is.
We might have had some crazy ass, stuff in the inbox.
Where she work at? I'm trying to.
Right. That's what I'm like. Hey.
Appreciate Tim with him and his Holy Bible from Wakanda. LT. I don't know, LT for coming on the show.
Man, you ain't special. I got a Bible too. Everybody got a Bible, Tim. You not special. Everybody got a Bible.
Like still got
I know King James as well. Okay, he signed my Bible too.
Okay.
Go ahead and do your shout out, man. I know you're gonna go ahead and get us canceled. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. Fucking free Palestine because it's the land of Canaan. Free Congo. Free Hawaii. Hawaii is in trouble right now or some shit. Arrest Sean Combs. Arrest Dan Snyder. Goddamn, the earth is actually cube shaped. That's the misinformation I'm gonna pump.
LT, are they arresting Vince McMahon too?
What's up?
Are they gonna arrest Vince McMahon too?
I don't even know what he did, but arrest him. Look, if he rich and he been rich for the past,
he got
years,
allegations. He got allegations.
If he been rich for longer than 50 years, he's evil. Arrest him. How about that?
All right. That's the qualifications of getting arrested now. All right. All right. I appreciate Aisha who coming on the show and giving her analysis of some of the subject matters we were talking about tonight.
Good.
Her unique point of view.
Yeah, it was fun to be back on the panel for a little bit. But yeah, I'm good. I enjoyed the set. Good to see you guys on here. It's been a minute, Red. You knew I was coming with that mess tonight. You already knew it. And you know I had to come carrying wine, of course.
Of course. I just thought it was gonna be in a jug. I thought it was gonna be in a jug and not a glass, though.
No, just my regular bottle. I've actually cut back a little bit. This was actually half a bottle already. I know it looked like I poured a lot, but it was not.
It's like a red Solo cup for you. All right, you doing good.
But I'm doing better. But yeah, it was fun to be back for a little bit.
One of the jugs with the XXX on it.
I appreciate y'all coming on and everybody who got to watch the show, get some hostile therapy, not because you want it and or maybe because you need it. I'm up there fumbling over my words. We'll see you on the next podcast next Thursday. Peace.